Imagine not being Leeds, not feeling this pain, not dancing through thunder, not walking through rain. Imagine not rising with fists in the air when the world turned its back and no one would care. We've lived in the ashes, we've drowned in defeat, but still we stand proud on our battered old feet. Imagine not loving with all that you are. Imagine not being Leeds.
We love you, Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.
Now then, everybody, welcome back to Imagine Not Being Leeds, and welcome back to Late Night Leeds, the best Friday show out there, even on a Thursday, I think. How you doing, boys? All good?
Very well.
Very well, very good.
All good.
Coming up on tonight's show, Burnley review, defeat the ladder, Theo's thoughts, preview of massive game tomorrow against West Ham, Mr. Whitesnake writes, and star chats on the best place to watch Leeds content, Late Night Leeds. Hey up, everybody. I hope the vibe is positive tonight because I'm feeling positive, but we have to draw on a little bit of a negative from last week, don't we? At some point in the show, BOSSNASS. But yeah, I'm doing well. I've had a good week. One more day to go before the weekend. How are you doing, Adam? Good week so far?
Yep. I honestly, I can't remember what's happened, but yeah, it's all been good, I'm sure. Yeah. Eating dinner sometimes, stuff like that. Yeah, that's been fun.
Sometimes I eat dinner all
Well,
times.
once a day.
Yeah. I eat supper, dinner, breakfast.
Well, do you know what?
It's just a
I've
lot of
opened
it.
a can of worms, really, there, and because I have dinner in the evening. So
Yeah, you have opened a can of worms, dinner in the
Yeah.
evening, and your butler provides you that dinner in the evening. This is it's just
she's got a name.
it's just cold tea. Anyways, BOSSNASS, how are you doing? How are you and family, mate?
All right. Yeah, not bad at all. Just nothing really exciting happens to me, mate. Just normal, steady away life. But I will say this: I am in a totally different headspace to you, and I just am.
Well, I think I'm going to probably exaggerate the positive vibes that I'm sort of feeling, but probably not if I'm honest, because I feel like you're going to be so far one way, BOSSNASS. I'm going to have to try and bring balance, which I'm sure me and Adam can do. But me and Adam have had a chat on the outside Elland Road show a couple of nights ago. So we've sort of had our little therapeutic sort of session, and I am feeling better. You know what? I get excited, lads, when I know I'm going to the game as well. So I do quite like it. It's a quick turnaround. But there is only one place to start in it, and we have got to go back to that horrendous result at Burnley on Saturday. I know some of the chat may not want to hear it about Late Night Leeds. We get together once a week, and we've got to talk about the week in the whole. So before we start looking positively towards tomorrow night, look at that Leeds version of Take That, says Mike. We can never forget that result at Burnley. But yeah, 2-0. Horrendous result, lads. There's no getting away from the result being like, I didn't expect it. That's Scott Parker now, 3 games, no wins over him for Farker, which is unbelievable, really, when you think, how well we did last year as well, and we couldn't even score against him in 3 games. I was surprised to see that result, I won't lie. I don't know if you were, BOSSNASS, but we'll start with you, mate, because I've had a bit of a waffle this week already, and I really want to hear your thoughts.
Listen, boys, strap yourselves in, because I am just about pig sick of this manager. I'm getting there. Right, I'm genuinely, my patience is wearing so thin with this manager.
Sorry, chat.
Well,
I'm joking.
At the end of the day, you play 3 defensive midfielders with 2 defensive wingers, right? We have all of the ball. Nothing gets changed right towards the end of the game where you chuck on all your forwards. This German dude who's had an overpowered team in the Championship, who has now come up into the Premier League and wants to act like we're going to win games like that. Like, just put your defenders up front, do you know, as well. At the same time, he's really, really wearing my patience for him, because I don't see any tactical flexibility in the man. I don't see any. I just don't see how he's going to get us over the line. this year, if that is what we're going to see in one of our most winnable games away to Burnley. And I'll say this again, when we've got games like this, we have to treat them like cup finals. We've got another one tomorrow, because just around the corner after Brighton and Forest, guess what, folks? It's not going to be pretty. It's going to be pretty stressful. It might not be the easiest of times. Sometimes you get points where you least expect them. But what I'm seeing from this guy now, I am not happy with. And if I see 2 defensive wingers and 3 defensive midfielders tomorrow, I am Fark out, fully, with chest, right here, right now. Get out of my club.
Not if we win 4-0, you're not.
But no, probably not. But at the same time, it's not gonna work. It's just not gonna work.
I know. There's a lot to obviously it's context to apply to that in terms of injuries, and he's only got the players available to. We hear all this from a lot of other channels and a lot of people talking about it, which is some truth in that too. Are you angling more towards he should have maybe changed formation so he didn't have to play them wingers? BOSSNASS, we spoke about it last week. 3-5-2 was staring us all in the face. Are you so?
Yeah,
should you have gone down that route? Is that what you're thinking for that game?
Yeah, I am thinking like that. And what we'll find is you'll get a lot of people going, well, you're not qualified to be a manager. You're not a manager. You're not in football. Look, behind closed doors, people say different things. I know for a fact. Well, Jer said it on the stream. It should have been a 3-5-2. I'm in the belief that you and Adam believe it should have been a 3-5-2. Everyone I talk to in the group chat seems to think it's a 3-5-2. Now, either we're all a bunch of morons and we've all just started watching football 5 minutes ago, or playing 2 defensive wingers and 3 defensive midfielders isn't the brightest idea in one of your most important games of the year. And then only changing it later on. I'm not going to go over the old ground again.
Yeah.
But honestly, I'm getting like annoyed now. The guy's doing my head in.
This is therapy, mate. This is for you to get it out, BOSSNASS. This is your moment to get it out if it's bothering you.
I'm getting
out. It's a bit mad with Adam, minute, because he's right in what he's saying there. If you're going to play with 3, defensive sort of minded midfielders, 2 defensive wingers, you best make sure you're not. If you're sacrificing the attack, which, don't get me wrong, the personnel sort of leads up to that's what he's got to sort of play. But if you're sacrificing the attack, you better not concede no goals if you're playing with such a defensive minded side. You know what I mean? So to have that defensive side out there and still concede 2 goals to, I say, a poor Burnley. 2 moments of quality in game both come from Burnley, but they're still a poorer side than me. They're still the poorer side in League bar Wolves for me. I didn't see much outside the goals to show me otherwise. But yeah, for such a defensive side to still lose 2-0 and not score against them again, it's a bit of a worry, really.
Yeah. I don't know, BOSSNASS has worked me into a frenzy now. I'm really pissed off at Fark. I'm like, because everything he says is factually true. It's just true. That's the problem. And you can sort of push it to one side and make peace with it when it comes to light again, and you think about it and the way it makes you feel. Because it's so simple to not do it that badly. It's not a simple fix. Not everything necessarily, every other idea works, but it's simple enough not to do it that badly. I think it was on the show the other day. We talked about teams looking at, fans looking at your starting team going, oh, there's the threat. Now you look at our team, the threat, I would say, oh, who's going to score the goals? I'll be most scared of Rodon on a corner, probably. And that can't be the case. I would fancy Bijol scoring more goals than Aronson and Harrison in a season if he started every game. I really would.
That's not even wild, is it? It's not even wild.
That's the problem, isn't it? Yeah. I would back Bijol to score 3, 4, 5 goals a season. I wouldn't back Aronson or Harrison to do it. And if you play a 4-3-3, your attackers have got to have some output. That's the issue. You pick your front 3, and DCL's got loads of redeeming qualities, but they're not output. It's not finishing. It's not final product. Harrison and Aronson have got less redeeming factors, skill sets. Almost next to none for a couple. Well, for Harrison maybe, but yeah. Well, I don't know where I was going with that. Yeah, you got a bit of forward line with some output, some final product. If you pick 3 up front that hasn't got it, and you pick 3 DMs in midfield, what are you left with? You're left with your fullbacks bombing forward and hope they cross it. We crossed it near 50 times. Burnley go, thanks very much. You go wide and we'll deal with it every single time. No problem at all. DCL's great. He can jump 24 foot in the air. We'll still deal with it. We'll still have 3 centre-backs, 2 centre-backs, whatever it is. We'll deal. What Walker, I'll back him in a 1-on-1. Goodmanson got wide a lot. If you're just chipping balls in the box, teams will fancy. If that's your only route of trying to score a goal is getting wide and chipping it into the box.
All right, Ian.
Then, what chance you got?
Yeah, no, true. Very true.
You know, because there's sorry, I shouldn't end that. What chance you got? What's the game plan? How are we trying to score? Because Falk, and I say the squad is of their building. The squad is of the club's building. Aronson and Harrison were picked within our winger group.
Yeah.
They're starting. It's not that far fetched to think they might start games when you pick them in your winger group. Here we are. Like, so there's no excuses. There's no excuses.
Yeah, no, yeah, I have to agree, mate. Like you say, we can, you know, me, I've spoke a little bit about it is the 4th and 5th choice winger. We're unlucky that we're down to that sort of player now. But like you said, to look at the 3 that are injured, is it unlucky? It was obviously going to happen. You know, the injury-prone players out there. Go on, BOSSNASS.
We're not unlucky. I think we've got to stop this unfortunate chat. We built that squad. We had all summer to do it. We knew he was promoted early on, right? We knew that Jack Harrison was returning, and when he was returning, we had phone lines, we had internet. We could have chucked email phone calls. This and the other. We could have got money and replaced that player. I'm sick of making excuses for it. Like, at the end of the day, Jack Harrison and Aronson should not be playing for Leeds United in 2025, and it's bad squad building in the summer, and it's leaving your manager short. But it's also, I need a manager who can see that team has about 3 goals in it in about 10 games, if you're lucky, and he has to change it. He has to change his system to get more attacking threat in there. Pirro, who's a good striker of the ball, find a way to get him on the pitch, find a way to make it work, earn you £3 million a year. I'm sick of it. I do not, honestly, boys, we bought in a goalkeeper for 16, 18 million, can't remember what it was. We bought Biolin, who's just had 2 clean sheets with Slovenia and looked just as good as what he left the season in Udinese last year. When do the excuses stop? I really am just like at the point of saying, I need to see something now, Farker. And I know he's stubborn, and I know he likes to persist, but there is no signs of life. Like, we're not going to score a goal. Like, it's like what Adam says, you can take the ball down the wing and put a cross in and this, that, and the other. But if you've only got DCL attacking that ball and he's getting, you know, do we not think that opposing managers have seen this and can see what Fark's doing and go, this guy's predictable, we know what's coming. DCL's going to be a man in your middle. Who's our best aerial defender? Right, you deal with him. Just, you don't worry about anything else. Don't even look at the ball. Just deal with him. Because if we don't think that's happening, then I think we're just kidding. Like, because that's the first thing I think that will be going on in these team meetings throughout the week. You take DCL out of this attack. What's left when you've got 3 defensive midfielders? What's left?
Yeah, I'm just I'm going to play devil's advocate because I'm same as you. I'm annoyed with Farker a bit. I'm annoyed with the ownership a bit. I'm annoyed with the players, certain players a bit. I think they're all culpable at the minute. What I will say is, Adam, if Alanson puts that chance away, which he should do, if Bogle scores, I know it's puts and maybes. What I'm saying, on another day, them chances, you know, we've created the chance for a one-on-one for Aronson. That should be a goal. Bogle, back post, that should be a goal. They score a... Say we win that game 2-1. We come out there 2-1 and the game plays out the same way. Are we having these conversations about Farker? Because let's be fair, on another day, mate, if that plays the same way tomorrow against West Ham, we could score them goals tomorrow and win 2-1.
The problem is, Matt, you're not playing devil's advocate there. You're agreeing with us because you're saying if Aronson puts that chance away, we're saying there's no chance he puts that chance away. And you agree with that because by the way, the technique on that was horrendous. Like, horrendous.
He can't shoot Aronson. He cannot.
It's
shoot.
Rolled across to him. He's kept his standing leg about half a yard from the ball still, and leant back and swung and hit through the top half of the football. Like, it's so poor. If I have a child, I play football Monday nights with mates. If I don't put that away, I'll be gutted. It's really easy. Just put it in the bottom corner. Like, really easy. I know the way of the pass from Harrison in that instant is perfect. So yeah, and we're not saying. And by the way, if Okafor and Nonto start, we'd probably win that game of football. But what we're saying is they weren't available. So these are the players available to you. So find something to make it work better within that player group. Because it's only excuses to talk about who wasn't available. Let's talk about who was available and find ways to make it work with who is available.
Yeah, like I say, we all knew he wasn't going to play 3-5-2, didn't we? We knew that, but that was the best. That was the best system for that. Yeah, I don't know, BOSSNASS.
Why do we have to accept that? Why? As a fan base, why are we going into this game going, right? Well, it's not going to play 3-5-2, and then almost accepting that as, well, that's okay then. Why is that okay? Why is that okay? That again, we're probably going to go into a game tomorrow playing a 4-3-3 with an absolute impotent attack. Like, yes, Aronson should have scored that goal, and I agree with you, Matty. Aronson scores that goal, and Bogle gets that the other glaring opportunity. And look, goal lines change opinions and storylines and other, but we didn't. How many you could go through every single season and just go, what if this happened? What if Bamford scored that penalty? What if, do you know, when we went down but he didn't, and we went down, and it's like, I don't know.
This is what I'm seeing a lot, BOSSNASS, is that anyone who blames Farke, actually, I think they're all culpable, but people, blame Farke. A lot of people saying, yeah, but look at the chances we are creating. Look at the stats. I'm all about the eye test. I'm not really a philosopher of football, as you know. But, like, I watched the game with the eye test, and I felt like we played really poor. You look at the stats, it looks like we played really well. I think we were better than Burnley, but it doesn't matter. I get that. It's all about the 3 points. But is Farke such a rubbish manager because he's still got a tune out of that team? Do you get what I mean? Like, if we're saying he's crap, he shouldn't be playing for Leeds in 2025, he's still getting a tune out of them where they're still performed at a level of better than the side they played. For me, you've got to say that. Look, I know possession with purpose is a thing, and knocking it around in your own half for sections of time builds your possession up, even though there's no like sort of finished product to that. But I still think he got them to play a brand of football that I think if we play that game 6 or 7 more times, we win more than we lose, if you get what I mean. I don't think we lose that game 2-0 if we play him again. So is that, can you take a little bit from Farke in that? Do you get what I mean?
I don't want to be too genuinely, I never want to come in here and be negative, but we did have a lot of the ball, and we did create a couple of chances. When you was watching that game, did you think we was going to win that game? Because for me, it stunk of a hit and run from what I was watching. Burnley didn't see a lot of the ball, but when they did see the ball, they looked a lot more dangerous than we did. I'll stand on that. They moved the ball quicker. There was more movement off the ball. They looked more dynamic. And that's just me. Like, I'm with you on this, Matty. I think people should use stats to enforce an opinion from what they've seen. Never look at stats blindly and think you can make a story out of them. You can't. You've got to watch a game. But it's like, like when we was under Bielsa, sometimes we wouldn't see a lot of the ball against bigger teams. But when we got it, you thought, hey, something could happen.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying Burnley were up to that level, but what I'm saying is when they got the ball, I thought, there was some danger there. Like, when we've got the ball, I'm looking at it and going, where's the threat? Where's the threat? Oh, hang on a minute, we're going down the wing again. There's a ball that's been looped in with no pace on it. It's just frustrating. Because he's got,
It's more frustrating for me as well. Like I say, you look at the formation, and we never thought. I know whether he'd accept it or not. We never thought for a second he'd start with a 3-5-2. But nice as a great point, BOSSNASS. I've always worried about Farke's in-game management and tactics. Can't keep playing the same team all the time. Rotation selections to suit opposition in game. Farke doesn't. I get that, and it's one of those under Farke. We've had a lot of games. We've played well. We've won games. 190 points and all that stuff, but we have had games where after 45 minutes, lads, or even 5 minutes, you can see which way game's going to go. And at half time in the Burnley game, if that 4-3-3 isn't working, which it wasn't, why can't he in game totally just rip up the rule book and try? So why at half time couldn't he have change that to a 3-5-2, made a couple of changes when he knew? Let's be fair, full well the 4-3-3 wasn't working. I had some of my mates went to the game. They left on 60 minutes. Literally, we left and went to the pub because they were in the stands, and they knew exactly how the game was going to pan out. And they went to the pub at 62 minutes. And can you blame them? No, they made the right decision, didn't they? Really, let's be fair. So, in-game management's always been something he's lacked for me, and that's going to be highlighted more and more in it, magnified more and more in this division.
With by the way, so I'm not saying Farke in this game. I'm not saying Farke's a bad manager. I'm saying Farke managed his game very badly.
Same thing.
And No, it's not.
I love you, BOSSNASS. I love you, man. There's
It's
that
not the same
smile.
thing.
There's
I'm
that
not saying
smile.
Farke's a bad manager overall. I'm saying he managed this individual game very badly. And I think, don't get me wrong, and I think this is a symptom of lots of his limitations that we're seeing over and over. And you can't, there's 90 point, 100 point thing in the championships, all well and good. But when the odds are stacked so heavily in your favour with a much better team, much better players than the opposition in pretty much every single game, you should get lots and lots of points. Now, he did pretty, you can't take it away from him, right? That's fine. But we've seen it. Arsenal's one of the worst games of management I've ever seen in my life. Ever. He set that team out to lose. We're always going to lose that game 5-0, 4-0. I said beforehand, I said 3-0, saw the team went 4-0, it ended up 5. This game here, yeah, underlying stats were very, very good, like everything up other than scoring, but you could almost guarantee we're never going to score with that. The lineup was so numb, so like it had no bite to it whatsoever. So, and you go, okay, who's the best attacking wide players? In that team is Gudmundsson and Bogle. Play three at the back, get them forward further, cover it. Playing three defensive midfielders, you need attack in playing a 4-3-3. The wingers got to be able to. The whole thing should be getting the wingers one-on-one with the fullbacks. If your winger can't beat a man, he has no idea how to beat a man, and that goes for both of them. You're left with very, very little, next to nothing. So we don't go through the middle, so we're always going wide. I say it was really inept, and everyone would go, oh, look at the underlines, but yeah, the underlines point the magnifying glass over how bad team selection was actually in terms of attacking players.
Yeah, for me, boys, and look, I'll say it because that's where I'm at with this. Leeds United as a club and the fans and the best fans in the country, Leeds as a club deserves a manager who is tactically flexible and can outthink a manager in the other dugout in game. We need, in the Premier League, you need your manager to be able to go head to head with the opposition manager and beat them upstairs tactically, thinking, where can I win this game? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't have that, and we deserve that. Genuinely, we need to raise the standards of what we think we deserve. It's like we've gone through so much trauma. We get a little bit of something, which is all right, gets us into the Premier League, and we go, well, hang on a minute. We've had all this, we had Darko Milanic and we've had David Ockerdale. And no, we can't. We, as a club, we deserve a manager, which I don't believe in this guy. I don't believe in him. And I'm speaking from the art here because sometimes it's difficult to come on and go on shows like this when you see other content in the space which is so insulated, so far insulated. It makes people think if you talk out against this guy, you're the idiot. It makes people feel like that. Yeah. And I think it should be an open conversation. And I'm saying I do not believe in this man. I do not believe in this man. He makes me worry about Leeds United solidifying a position in the Premier League where this club should be. So, and that's not me saying he deserves the sack. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is can we just have some form of contingency plan, please, going on in the background so that if this thing does go peak tongue, which for me there's a 50-50 chance it does, that we get because the last thing I want to see is like some kind of death spiral that we had with Gracia and Allardyce and stuff like that. We need to accept that this could go south, and all I want as a Leeds United fan is the right amount of work to be done in the background so that we can move quickly and astutely and in the right direction if we need to pull that trigger. That's all I'm asking for. And as a Leeds United fan in my own right, and who somebody who will speak my mind, I do not believe in this man. And I'll come out and say it.
And I love that about you, mate. And so you should. You should always say how you feel, pal. I'd like to get your thoughts before we move on, because we have gone on Burnley a little bit too long. I want to sort of go through the goals. I mean, we can highlight a lack of quality up top, players playing because there's injured players, Farke not being good enough, whatever. Stack were at fault, not tracking his man. The second goal, go on, boss, let's jump in.
Daniel Farke played him, and he's got a fucking rib injury.
I know that was a massive point in that press conference that I couldn't believe when I heard that. To be fair, these rib injury, broken finger, but the rib injury. And you know what it is, BOSSNASS, to even say that if he plays any minutes tomorrow night, you're giving West Ham a little bit of a, just so you know, his ribs are sore. Get into it. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit of a mad one, really. He's obviously trying to defend him so much there to sort of say, because he knows he's under a bit of pressure because he played poorly, by coming out and saying, yeah, but he's injured though. Like, well, don't
It's
play
not
him
even
then.
that for me, mate. It's the case of, if it might be like sore ribs and it could be something as minor as that, but if it's bruised ribs or a hairline fracture or anything along those lines, that affects your breathing, because when you exhale, it aggravates it. So every time, like if you're running, which obviously increased heart rate, increased inhale, exhale, that's hurting. So that's going to slow anybody down. And that actually some kind of reasoning where you go, hang on a minute, that could make sense. Why are we doing that? Why are we doing that?
Yeah,
Does
I
that
mean,
honestly? That sounds like a League Two manager to me. That's something a League Two manager would do. I wouldn't expect that down the road at Bridtown, mate.
but again, oh no, again though, to try and balance it a little bit or try and make sense of it. And like you say, I'm not Farke's biggest fan either, but I'm just trying to sort of find a bit of balance here. Tanaka had been away with Japan. That's what people will say. That's what he'd probably say. So do you play Gruev or do you just put Tanaka in there? I mean, he put Aronson in there, so maybe you could have played Tanaka from. You know what I mean? That like it again. It'll come down to the options available.
I'm going to stop
Why did
being
he even
negative.
say it? Why
No,
did he
no,
even say it
genuinely.
though?
I don't understand
what-
why he said it.
Why? What's he doing? He's made an excuse for Stack and thrown himself under the bus as a result of it.
Well, he has,
Like,
hasn't he? Yeah, he has.
Yeah, so what is he doing? And he's not that guy. He is not that guy. He's not. He looks after himself first in any press conference, any chat, anything, all the time. Harry Gray got a song and he asked for his own song because a 16-year-old got one. You know, that's Daniel Farke. So he's not that guy. He's not going, oh, I must look after Stack, so I'll take the blunt, I'll take the hit. No, he's not. So I don't know why he said it. Not at all.
One sec, Adam, right quick. Emmett, no, mate, you're one of the lucky ones that I liked it that much. I've starred it for later. Just so you know, if I do skip over your comment, I've starred it for later. We do a section at Encore Star.
By the way,
so
on the goals,
that's
on
yours.
the first goal, close the guy down. Don't let Walker, quality cross.
Yeah.
Decent right back's going to pull that cross out in the Premier League if you give him 10 yards of space. End of story. Closing down. Bielsa used to do it. Mark the throw-in taker. Don't just because it's long throw, piss off back there and go, he's thrown it short. Oh no, what can we ever do here? Harrison's got too many. That's there's too many excuses happening already. If there's two guys over there, have two guys over there. Like, it's fairly simple. On the second goal, Ampadu got a knock. If you see, and he's limping back past Stroud. Stroud doesn't engage because Ampadu's 5 yards behind him. It probably discombobulates Stroud somewhat, but obviously just close the man down. Stack's just wandering around doing the worst pressure you've ever seen. Ampadu's limping out. Stroud's just stand there. Rodon's another 2 yards next to him. Like, someone just go leadership and go, fucking just close. That is rubbish. It's rubbish. Both for goals are absolute crap.
Yeah, they were. Right, that's enough on Burnley.
I'm actually quite glad we're moving on, but I am also glad that I said my piece.
It needed to be said, BOSSNASS. It needs to be said. You know, you're a massive part of the show. You're a third of this show, mate, and I want you to speak your mind. And
Fifth.
Hey, it's more than that now when this next segment comes in. But
half
the show. You know what it is? What I'll say is, before
did someone get a few views and got a big head now? Is that what's going on over here?
Yeah.
No, not enough, really.
What I will say is, though, you watch a lot of YouTube, don't we? And, you know, we have done and we still do. And I quite like it when you get a panel and maybe there's a few disagreements. I mean, I actually agree with most things you say, to be fair. I'm just trying to find balance. But I actually quite like it when someone comes out and maybe says something that may be deemed unpopular because it's what they feel. And not everybody does that, BOSSNASS. So fair play.
Do you know what, though? The debate on this, you hear a lot of debates, and it's just fucking because this. No, can't change it. He got some points last season. Yeah. Actually, BOSSNASS is a smart enough guy to actually say, to understand both sides of it and come up with. Yeah. That's what brains is. That's what IQ is. Working out a path to get to a solution in your own head and get the right solution enough times. And all he's saying is it needs to be looked at and have an alternative lined up. And that was a crap display by the manager.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. Nige, Tanaka for me, mate. Right, moving on to my new favourite part of Late Night Leeds. It is, of course, defeat the ladder. Right, time to have a bit of fun, BOSSNASS. Come on, mate.
I'm ready for this after that. I'm genuinely ready for this.
Come on, boys.
There's a few hidden Easter eggs in here as well, people. So the format's going to change, and the boys don't even know about it.
Oh no!
As it stands, it's still the same thing. You can't get 2 questions wrong in a row. The boys can ring the group chat if they feel they're going to get the second question wrong. Right, let's go for it. Right, boys. Who scored Leeds United's first Premier League goal of the 95-96 season? This is a multiple choice quiz, boys. I took the suggestion.
Thank you.
Right. Was it A, Gary Speed, B, Tony Yeboah, C, Brian Dean, or D, Carlton Palmer?
Can we have a game? As in
we
a,
are
what game?
currently, yes.
Who we were playing?
I don't no. I don't
Like that matters. Well, who's the most
Well,
obscure one on there to score a goal? Like he might have just thrown in there to cover. Like
No, you don't do that. He'll be like the second most obscure. That's the kind of guy he
I
is.
was thinking
95-96 season, boys.
I was thinking Brian.
96.
I was thinking Brian Dean, mate. I think your ball was
Well, as
too.
soon as he said Brian Dean, I thought Brian Dean.
I did. I think your ball was a bit too obvious, me.
That's why I'd like the game it was. If I knew the match it was, I think there'd be a chance. But
Do you know what?
we haven't.
Are you locking it in?
I think Brian.
Yes, we are now.
Locking it in. You've fallen for it, hook, line, and sinker. It's a common quiz question. Who scored the first Premier League goal for Leeds United? And that would be Brian Dean, but that was in 1992.
Yeah.
This is 95-96, and it was Tony Yeboah.
Oh no way! No way!
Going
Fuming.
out first 2.
It could be over. It could be over.
Yeah,
It's
no,
going to
no,
be a
stay
short
calm.
quiz, boys.
Stay calm, Matty. For crying out loud.
Oh, I'm panicking. My ass is falling out.
Oh, you're playing 4-3-3.
Right, boys. You know what? This don't get any easier. I do apologise.
goody.
We're out early doors, aren't we?
Goody.
Which goalkeeper kept a clean sheet in Leeds United's 1-0 win over Liverpool in 1995? Right.
This is too
No,
early.
it's a famous game because it's that Yeboah goal, the famous volley. Was it A, Nigel Martin, B, Mark Beanie, C, John Lukic, or D, Paul Robinson?
Well,
See,
it won't
I think
Robinson or Martin. He won't either of them.
Yeah,
two.
I think I'll say it's Beanie or Lukic in it. And
Yeah.
as soon as he said it, I thought Beanie, but maybe for all the wrong reasons. But that's
Well,
what
I
came to
thought
my mind.
Lukic. Ah, God damn it! I thought Lukic.
Let's go Beanie.
Yeah, but you're going to get that wrong.
Well, you can carry on the quiz then. There you go. We're split up. End of team.
That's not how it works, lads.
Yeah, I'll go with you, Adam.
Who
What
was
is
in
it?
goal? Who was in goal?
Matt Beanie. Go Beanie.
Okay, let's go. Let's go Lukic. Let's go Lukic.
Right. Whose first answer was Lukic?
Matty's.
Who and you were Beanie. I can
I
tell
was
you that
Beanie.
one of you is right if that helps.
No, it does not help.
Nah, Lukic. It's got to be Lukic.
Correct.
Get it. Oh my God! Thank God.
I was going to ask you to
Thank
lock
God.
that in. But then
Thank
I thought
God.
it might-
Oh,
The answer
Yeah,
is
Steph
John
was having
Lukic.
busy. Thanks, mate.
We've got to question 3, which I was honestly thinking might not happen.
me too.
Right, boys. Who was Leeds United's record signing before Rio Ferdinand in 2000? Was it A, Michael Bridges, B, David Hopkins, C, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, or D, Lee Bowyer?
Bowyer was the most expensive teenager, I think.
I think Bridges. Was that a
How
bit?
much was
Nah.
Bridges? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Hopkins was like 3.5, I think. Bridges was 5 something, maybe.
I think Bridges, but I can't ever remember. You know, oh, Bridges is a most expensive.
I think
player,
Bowyer was 4.5. Bridges 5.8 rings a bell.
I think it's Bridges, mate.
Yeah, Bridges.
Bridges.
Locked in, Bridges.
Bridges in
All right, boys, we'll see you next week on the ladder.
No,
Nah, we got 2 wrong in a row yet.
Was that all right? Shit.
Yeah, 2 wrong in a row.
That's one big clue. There's one big clue.
Is it not Bridges?
Well, it's not Bridges. But that's our answer.
Oh, well, it's wrong. It's Jimmy Floyd.
Yeah, next question.
Ah, no way. No
Hasselbank.
way. What's that old chat saying? Let me have a look. Bridges. Wrong.
Bridges,
Bowyer. Jimmy.
By the way, this does. I shouldn't have the chat for this because it makes me think. Am I wrong? I spent ages double checking these yesterday, so I know I'm not wrong.
Right, I know you're right.
Right. Number 4. Which team did Leeds beat 4-1 in the 2000-2001 Champions League group stage with, was it A, Lazio, B, Anderlecht, C, Besiktas,
Oh, my
or
God.
D, Deportivo La Coruña? Hang on, boys, hang on. For a bonus lifeline of a 50-50 to use later in the quiz, name the player who got the first yellow card in the game.
For crying out loud.
Well, I think, Adam, I think it were either Anderlecht or Besiktas.
I think it's Anderlecht away.
Yeah, I sort of agree
and
on
I'd
that,
go
to be fair.
Smith for the yellow card.
I'd have gone Batty. But yeah,
it's a shout.
Odegaard.
Okay, well,
I don't know
let's
playing,
go Anderlecht and Bay.
Anderlecht is correct.
Thank God for that.
The yellow card was Danny Mills.
Oh,
fair
okay,
enough.
fine.
Toss it,
Yeah,
innit?
whatever. Yeah.
So you missed out on your 50-50, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, we don't need it, you know that.
Right, number 5, boys. Who wore the number 10 shirt for Leeds during the 2003-2004 relegation season? Was it A, Alan Smith, B, Nick Barmby, C, James Milner, or D, Seth Johnson?
I think Adam, it was. Hold on. Right. First one was, you said Smith. Will he have been number, what are he, 17? He wasn't number 10 anyway, Smith, right? Who was next one?
Barmby.
Barmby were number 7, I think. Yeah,
What?
I think he was number 7 or number 8.
I
I'm
thought
sure he was like,
I thought. What do you think Seth Johnson was then?
fucking hell, I don't know. I've got a feeling it was. What last one you said, mate?
One sec. Seth Johnson.
Well, why have I got a feeling it was Seth Johnson?
See, I was gonna. Oh, I thought it was Barmby. I don't think it was Barmby anymore. I think Barmby was maybe 11.
Yeah, you might be right.
Seth Johnson was never 10 though, was he? There was a 4th, wasn't there, BOSSNASS?
Sorry, I'm double checking this.
I'm blank because I'm torn between
Right,
Barmby
I've double checked it because genuinely, I thought. Anyway, I've double checked it.
It's not.
So the options are A, Alan Smith, B, Nick Barmby, C, James Milner, or D, Seth Johnson.
Well, Smith were never 10. Smith were never 10, and Milner won 10, mate, as a young kid. He won. So it's either Seth Johnson or Barmby. I actually think you might be Barmby. I can't remember Seth Johnson being number 10, but I think Barmby sounds more realistic.
I think no matter what we say, we're going out. But
you got the last one right, so you can't go out.
I think it's Barmby. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Barmby then. Fuck it. Oh, fuck it, Barmby then.
I think Barmby.
All right, Ian, calm down. The answer is Alan Smith, which I've had to check.
Never.
Yeah.
Never. Not one person's put Smith. Never.
I've just checked it again. 2003-2004 season. Feel free to check it at home, people. I've just checked
wild, isn't it? I've never remembered him wearing 10 ever. Fucking hell.
I've literally just checked it on stream now because I knew this was coming.
Mike, not a chance.
Right, boys.
Find me a picture.
No,
see it with your eyes.
I've got it here, boys. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. You won't. No,
mate, it's just
it says Alan Smith wore the number 10 shirt for Leeds United during the 03-04 relegation season.
I don't think
he did. I don't think he did. I promise.
Do you know what?
Do
you know what? I think it was. I think it might have. Well, just looking on.
Do you know what I actually think it was? Do you know what I actually think it was?
Sacco.
Harry Kewell?
No, he wasn't there then.
Was he not?
No.
Are you sure?
No, I'm not sure.
Boys, I don't want to say that. I genuinely.
What year? 2003-04?
Yeah, even according to Google, in the 2002-2003 season, he wore 10. If you could put it in Google.
Hold on.
Yeah, in 3-4, it's got Lamine Sacco wearing 10.
Yeah, it has. Look, yeah. You're definitely wrong. Sacco number 10. Lamine Sacco.
Right, all right. So it's off by a year. It's off by a year, but he did wear 10.
Oh, man.
Right, boys, we'll scrap it. It's all right. I've got an import. Hey, listen, I've checked this.
Oh, God.
Boys, I did this in Copilot and I got it to check it. and
That's
it's a
class.
year out. It's not. Look, it is what it is.
It
Right.
is. It is what it is. It is. You're right.
Anyway, so we'll carry on.
That
So
we
that
can't-
question
can't
is
argue.
void. However, I have got an extra question at the end. I can't.
Alan Smith was 17 the whole way through.
Right. So why?
From-
Why is Google AI telling me now that
I
he was
got
10?
a clue. It was, I don't know. It was a high number in 99, 2000, then 17 all the way through
Right,
to
let
the
me
left.
send you. I'm sending you a picture into group chat now.
Right, next question. Come on.
This is getting
Fucking
sent
hell.
first. Sorry, people. I have to wait a sec.
Oh God. Brilliant.
Love it.
There
Here,
you go. And then
this is live TV.
I know it is.
Yeah.
People, it'll be nice and
Children and
patient.
animals.
You can understand, obviously, this comes across very embarrassing.
Children, animals, and AI.
I love. Here, we're laughing. We are laughing. This is better than the Far Out chat.
Right.
We're
Anyway,
laughing because we got through.
we'll continue. We'll continue. Right. In
God.
2007, Leeds United started the League One season with a 15-point deduction. Who scored the first goal of that campaign? A. Jermaine Beckford, B. Trezor Candle, C. David Putton, or D. Jonathan Douglas?
Adam, can I just go straight in with this?
Yeah, please do, mate.
Beckford's the obvious one, but I've got a feeling Trezor Candle. I'm going to go Candle, lock it in.
Correct.
Get up.
Right. Question 7, boys. Which
Oh,
player
big
scored a
question.
hat-trick against Northampton Town in the 2008-2009 FA Cup first round replay? Was it A. Luciano Becchio, B. Robert Snodgrass, C. Jermaine Beckford, or D. Enoch Shawumney?
What a question
Well,
again?
hang on. To earn an Ask the Chat lifeline via poll, what minute was the first goal scored within a 10-minute bracket as well? So you've got to get the score right, and you've got to tell me when within 10 minutes of it.
What question again, mate, please? Sorry.
Which player scored a hat-trick against Northampton Town in the 2008-2009 FA Cup replay?
It wasn't
Was it
Sean
Beck-
the hitting a hat trick.
Was it Becchio, Snodgrass, Beckford, or Shawumney?
So again, Beckford's obvious one, but Becchio could have banged a hat trick in, mate.
I think Becchio.
I think Becchio on that one. And the minute for what? Minute for what? First goal.
14.
Yeah, Becchio 14.
All right. Unlucky boys. Beckford 13.
Oh,
We've hit a post there.
just a quick one there, BOSSNASS. Look what Eddie put. Smith wore 10 the day we got relegated to Bolton, but it wasn't his shirt. He swapped it with a Cockcher.
Super Leeds, I will take that, and I thank you very much for your service there.
Love that. Love that. Class.
Right, boys. So number 8, and bearing in mind this is a lose it in your out question.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who was Leeds United's captain? Oh, this is so easy. You've got away with this one. Who was Leeds United's captain during the 2019-20 championship winning season? Was it A. Liam Cooper, B. Calvin Phillips, C. Stuart Dallas, or D. Pablo Hernandez?
Do we have to answer?
Lock it in.
Yeah,
you
lock
do.
it in.
Cooper, final
Well,
answer.
Cool. All right, yeah, that's correct. You got away with that.
Yeah, we did.
I don't know how that's got him, BOSSNASS. I had no idea.
No.
Right, question 9. Which player scored first in Leeds United's 3-1 win over Tottenham Hotspur in May 2021? Was it A. Jack Harrison, B. Stuart Dallas, C. Rodrigo Moreno, or D. Heung-min Son?
Fucking hell. I was thinking it was Dallas, if I'm honest. I've got a feeling Dallas scored inside box, but I don't know if it was first goal.
I can't remember.
I remember Son scored in game. I think it was Dallas. Did we get Laston right? Yeah, we did, didn't we? So yeah, I think Dallas. Lock it in.
But you got to consult Adam. You can't just
He doesn't know, does he?
steamroll it.
Yeah.
Are you locking it?
They're saying Son. Yeah, I think Dallas.
I can't remember the game, so yeah, whatever you think. I don't think it's Dallas though.
Yeah, Dallas is correct.
Get in.
Right,
Come on,
boys.
Matty, lads.
To complete the ladder this week.
Somehow.
Come on.
Who was Leeds United's final signing of the 22-23 January transfer window before relegation?
Easy.
Was it A. Weston McKennie, B. Jorginho Rutter, C. Joe Robles, or D. Max Vobber?
Oh, January.
I think it's easy, though.
Who do you think it was?
Jorginho Rutter. I remember him being paraded at game, and I'm pretty sure it was like towards the end. I could be wrong with that because
I thought Vobel was earlier. I thought he
Yeah,
went
he
quite
was.
early in the window. And I thought McKennie was after Rutter.
yeah,
I'm fairly confident that, in fact.
Oh, can we do a WhatsApp call for group?
You can do, mate. Yeah.
Right, fuck it.
I'm going to fucking answer and tell you.
Bear in
I'm
mind,
gonna
this is
answer and tell you
important. This is to get the win, lads. So
I'm going to answer and tell you.
Call it video chat. Chat. We're calling the video chat. Right, let's make this really quick. Has anyone got any thoughts on this, lads? God, Mr. Healy. Come on, boys. Well, you're not helping you today. That's a straight split. No good. Oh, Nige, what you thinking? I think Adam, we're gonna have to go Rutter. I think Rutter too, Nige. Right, we're locking it in. What you saying, Nige? Rutter, right. Bye, everyone. We're going Rutter. Sorry, Adam. The chat spoke.
Can I just say that? No, I'm not actually. Unfortunately, boys, you've been defeated by the ladder.
Don't you dare tell me it was Weston McKennie.
A loan signing is still classed as a signing. It was Weston McKennie.
Oh, Adam. Oh, no, I'm gutted. I am absolutely gutted.
Over.
Oh, no. Oh. Gutted. Gutted. Absolutely gutted. Yeah, you did effing tell us, Sean. I went with the majority. Fuck's sake.
I know we got people in the chat saying we didn't sign McKennie. We signed him on a short-term loan, didn't we?
Yeah,
Surely.
Yeah, it's fine.
He
It's
played
fine.
for us.
He played for us,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
How did we get him otherwise?
It was the last one to come in money and oh god, trick question. Bollocks, says Mike. Oh, Cubs fan, boo, where you from? Says Lee Crisp.
Good.
Right here, BOSSNASS. Love that as always. Absolutely class. Yeah, a little bit of talking point there with Elland Smith number 10.
I'm annoyed by that.
We'll have to find that a Kocha t-shirt wearing moment.
Genuinely spent it like quite a long time like fact checking this, and I use several AI services because I can't be asked going through Transfermarkt and looking all. But it looks like I'm going to have to.
You are going to have to. Anyways, moving on. Class BOSSNASS as always. Right, enjoy that part. Yeah, it's really added some value that to the show. So thank you very much for that, BOSSNASS. Thanks so much for chat. I know everyone enjoys it. But moving on now to this week's Theo's Thoughts. Now then, Theo.
Yeah.
This week's Theo's Thoughts time. Okay? You want to show us what was in your book first? It's really exciting to show everybody this. So you collect match attacks cards, don't you? And look at this bad boy. And who's that?
Rafinha.
Do you reckon Rafinha might be the greatest player that's ever played for Leeds?
Maybe.
Unbelievable player, innit? You're buzzing when you got that card, weren't you? Really special card. Anyways, moving on. So Leeds got beat by Burnley last week. Can you believe Burnley? Give me one word that sums up how crap Burnley. Burnley. Give me a word about Burnley. Exactly. What?
The knowledge are crap.
Anyway, we got beat by them, but we play West Ham tomorrow. West Ham United. Please tell me Leeds are going to win. Theo, give me some goddamn good news. Come on, who's going to win?
It might be a tie.
A tie. I think 2-1 Leeds, as I always say that. What do you think it'll be? 0-0, 1-1, 2-2, 15-15?
0-0.
0-0. He said that every week. Anyways, I've got 5 quick questions to ask you. Well, 5 things to say, right?
Okay.
What is the funniest thing you've ever seen in your life?
Some bit the pants.
Somebody ripped the pants. That would be funny. What would your superpower be if you was a superhero?
Invisibility.
What would you do if you were invisible? I don't want to know. We'll move on. Can you pull me your craziest face? Oh, that is kind of crazy. How could you make the world a better place? What would make the world a better place? What would you do if you could make it a better place?
Make my own roller coaster.
Make your own roller coaster. You think that'll make the world a better place?
Yeah.
Fair enough. And if you could plan a really good day for your brother Jonah, what would be the perfect day you would plan for your little big little brother?
I would make him a house made out of pork pies.
Why is that? Because it's his favourite food? Ah, fair play. Say bye to everybody.
Bye.
Good lad. That was this week's Theo Thoughts. He wanted to do something a little bit different, so I give him the floor. Right then, moving on, everybody, to the West Ham preview. Lee Chris says, I can see a draw. I can see a 15-0 win for Leeds United. Now, try to remain positive. BOSSNASS, I'm going to hand it over to you. We've spoke about Burnley. We're in a bit of a shitty place at the minute. A little bit nervous about what's to come in the next couple of months as well. This is a nice little pocket of games, really, we looked at before. 4 games. Can we get a fair few points in this before we hit that sort of tricky period? This is a must-win, right?
100%. Anybody who says it's a must win, it isn't a must win. Is just protecting themselves. Like, yeah, they're just protecting themselves mentally if they're saying it's not a must win. This is definitely 100% a must win game. And look, I think after what happened to Burnley, I think Farke has fallen on pretty much the best game I could get to follow it up.
Yep.
I watched West Ham at home against Brentford, and truly, it is one of the worst Premier League performances, and I'll chuck in Southampton, Sheffield United, Norwich, and all that. One of the worst Premier League performances I have ever seen, and I mean ever. They look like they're running in lead. Honestly, they are so slow. I don't know why Paqueta was playing like basically as a striker. I don't know if Nuno's lost his nut, like, and the real only shining light in that team the other day was Somerville. Even Jared Bowen didn't get into the game. Like, he was almost as good as a spectator. I think he had one decent shot. Other than that, rarely saw him. So they're really bad. They brought on like this Northern Irish international. I can't remember his name, instead of Callum Wilson. Callum Wilson, by the way, who I think has still got something to offer this league when he's fit. So yeah, I can't what am I trying to say? I can't say enough how bad they was. They was absolutely turgid in every sense of the manner. So I think even if Farke trots out the same team as he did against Burnley, even that team beats West Ham if they play like that. Because we're at home, we've got the Elland Road crowd. It's Friday night football. That team that we out, even with Harrison Aronson and 3 central defensive midfielders, still beat this team, and they beat them by a couple of goals. So tomorrow is 3 points, and it should be 3 points, and it has to be 3 points. Unless Nuno has managed to work a miracle between Monday and Friday, this will be one of our easiest games of the season, or should be.
And if it's not,
well, you already know what I think about that German sausage.
What we'll say, Adam, passing over to you. Obviously, it's probably plays into West Ham's favour a little bit that it's away from home in this one for them, because they picked up 4 points this season, all away from home. Playing at Elland Road's a tricky game to go. Obviously, they'll know what it's like. They'll know they're going into the bear pit sort of vibes. But playing at home for them at the minute, it's you can see the atmosphere's gone very toxic there. it's probably a decent fixture for them to get out and play. And let's be fair, Leeds United aren't pulling up no trees, so it's not a bad fixture for West Ham too. So when you flip it over, so I know you think very similar as well of West Ham. We know they've got some good players, but a bit leggy in midfield. Maybe with free midfield we can overrun them. Hopefully.
Oh, you talking to me?
I am, Adam. Oh, it's only your boss that's here, mate. Are you awake? Are you there, mate?
Honestly, I thought you were just talking to each other. I was just like watching it then. Yeah,
He's still Googling Alan Smith wearing number 10, aren't you, mate?
Oh, dear God. It's funny with Souček still playing DM. He can't do it. He's so leggy. He's technically he's rubbish. The player Leeds, some Leeds fans wanted over the summer, by the way, as well. But yeah, West Ham are poor. I don't know if it plays in their hands. I think it plays into our hands. Whether it plays into their hands as well, a tiny bit. It just completely outrun that rival by us. Then play Monday, Friday, no time to recover. They were terrible Monday. Then they will go to Leeds United under the lights. It's a perfect game for us. West Ham at home, under the lights, evening game, 4 days after they play, perfect. And it's as Boston said, no matter what team we put out, we should beat them. Like they've got more. The thing is, like every game, they've got more talent. Well, other than Burnley, they've got more talented players than us, but they are in disarray. And they are so low on confidence that we should just turn them over. We should. With the crowd Friday night, it should be very Everton vibes. Match the crowd in terms of their aggression, all those sorts of elements. I think intensity. I think we just should come out on top because it's not a game that's we've got to be technically sound and play perfect football. We just got to overrun them.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, at home, BOSSNASS, one loss in the last 12 months for us. Yeah, albeit they've all been outside Premier League, majority of them. But we are a different animal at home. I sort of disagree. I don't know if Richard Hogan's went along with that, of the whole, if we play the same team, we should still beat them by a couple of goals. I don't believe that, if I'm honest. And I know it won't be the same team. We all know there's going to be a couple of changes in there. That's a fact. But
how do you know that?
Just by his mannerisms in press conference, a couple of illnesses in there. Yeah, I just think there'll be a few changes, mate. A couple potentially.
Yeah, I think there will be, but I just never put any. I don't put anything past the guy. I genuinely, but I think you are right. I think we will see Tanaka. I really hope Biol gets his chance tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think if you at the end of the day, I know Darlow's not really. He hasn't had a howler. He hasn't had a clanger. But in the last few games, he also hasn't done anything exceptional either. He's just been what you expect to Darlow, which is right down the middle. Nothing that's going to hurt you, but nothing that's going to save you points either.
In the last few games, BOSSNASS, the two shots that have been on target have gone in really, which aren't really Darlow's fault. But he hasn't had many to save to redeem himself, if you get what I mean. They've had a couple of moments and they've gone in both games.
But when he first came in to replace Perry, he was doing bits where you're thinking, "Oh, he saved us points here." Yeah. That's kind of gone off the boil now. But yeah, so look, when I saw that, looking at the West Ham lineup on paper is very different to what they look like on grass. When I saw that lineup to play Brentford, I thought, "Oh, they've got a real chance here." Do you know? But you kind of romanticize in your head like names like Souček. The guy's got no legs anymore.
Yeah,
the guy has got no legs anymore.
Set pieces though, it's still a threat from them. We need to limit him to a few set pieces.
Yeah, genuinely, the move. I tell you exactly what West Ham looked like on Monday night. They looked like they couldn't be arsed. They looked like a team that haven't been paid for 3-4 months and the ownership's on the way out and everything's gone wrong. They genuinely look like they're just turning up to stamp the clock out card and go home. And look, don't take it from me. Type in any West Ham fan channel after this and go have a listen to what they're saying.
They were saying it in pre-season, BOSSNASS. They were worried in pre-season. They could see this coming.
Yeah, if you think I'm being over damning on West Ham, listen to their own fans. They think they're already down. But saying that, they see Leeds United as really one of the last forks in the road where they can turn this season around. So there is danger in that. What we can't allow them to do is get a foothold in this game, put any kind of confidence into them to think, hang on a minute, we're in this, we can win this. It needs to be, hang on a minute, we've turned up at Elland Road, and it needs to be apparent to all the West Ham players that they've turned up for a real battle and they ain't got enough to get over the line. Because as soon as you put that as soon as they think they're beaten, they're beaten. Their mentality is that frail. As soon as they think they've lost, they have lost. Because they are genuinely really, really, really mentally frail. They look horrible. They look like they can't be bothered. They don't really deserve to be wearing a West Ham shirt, another iconic English football club. What I saw on Monday night was pretty much a disgrace to that badge, and all the West Ham fans are saying it themselves. If it was Leeds United, we'd all be going mental.
Do you think if we go 1-up early on, do you reckon it's curtains at that point?
I think they crumble, mate. I think they crumble, mate.
I hope so. I hope you're right with that, buddy. That's very damning on West Ham. But like you say, I've watched a few of the podcasts myself, the YouTubers. I've seen a few in pre-season predicting to be down there at bottom, and that with their own fans. So it's very damning, but it's true. Nuno, I do like him as a manager, but if they've lost the legs in midfield, they've got one or two standout players that would easily play for Leeds United. But is that enough if the rest of them are not pulling up trees? I'm not too sure. Shall we get your lineup, AG, and then we can talk through
just
it?
quickly. Yeah. But the thing about Nuno, he's either a journeyman or he's at a club for 3-4 years. Like, he's a funny old manager. It's sometimes what he does takes hold, and lots of time it doesn't. Lots of time, but and West Ham fans are negative about everything. So but they have got a lot to be negative about this year.
Yeah, they have. Let's pull up your team anyway, because I'm interested with this. Is this Harrison on the wing?
Do you know what I've got? Do you know what I've got to with this now?
Yeah,
I call it my lineup, but I just do what I think Fark's going to, because there's no point. Because otherwise, I just do 3 at the back most of the time. And it's
so
like,
what would be your lineup, AG? What would different in there would you have?
Well, like AG's lineup. I mean, Perry comes back in for me. I think he was bought to be number 1. I think Fark will bring him back in. If Perry and Bijou don't start this game, Fark doesn't fancy him. Either of them. It one or the other, whatever it is, both of them, one, whatever. If one of them doesn't start, he doesn't fancy him. There's no Stroud being had man flu this week, whatever he may have. It's the perfect, just get Bijou in there. He won't be 100%. Stroud was in the training video today, so he's training. Ampadu wasn't in the training video today, but I put him in there for it. I think what we'll see is not far off this. I picked Harrison over Aronson because I think he's actually had some output at some stages. But yeah, I'd love to see a 3-5-2 or a 3-4-3 as a more attacking option at times. But ultimately, right now, yeah, I'd love to see 3 at the back. He's just not going to do it, so it comes completely pointless me putting it down there. I think he'll go the same midfield if it's available. I don't think Ampadu probably will be available. So I think what we'll see then is Stack sitting and Snacker comes in on the left or right. Longstaff probably go left and Snacker right, I think. And saying I've got Harrison in there. There's not a lot of options to move it around if you're picking the same formation ultimately. But he's not going to change formation, so it's completely pointless me even doing it.
Yeah, true. And you got the date wrong, says Graham. It's funny what they notice, isn't it?
Well, I don't want it. Well, yeah.
Funny. Yeah. So looking at that team, mate, obviously Okafor, if he's fit, comes in for Harrison, which is what we're all sort of hoping. Stack in midfield. I'm surprised you put Stack in there. Thinking.
Do you know what? The only thing against West Ham is I think you can overrun them. I think for me, it's back to the Everton game. Just intensity, ferocious, all that stuff. I think you can physically beat them, and I think for that I play Stack over Snacker still. I don't think it's the game where we've got to play nice patterns and through to Snacker, and there's no one to pass it to. There's no one. Snacker unlocks Harrison to sprint down the left and kick it off the pitch. I think it's just a game to be ferocious and tenacity and aggressive and just run through them. So that's why in this game in particular, I would if midfield, I would still go with that midfield in this game.
Really?
I want to play vertically. I don't want to pass it around the back. I don't want Snacker linking up with the centre backs, linking Rodon and Strauch, and then moving forward, linking to fullback, back to another centre back. I want to just play vertically and go forward in this game. I think we just beast.
That's where your football brain comes into play. You see, because I'm just a bit of a general fan who hasn't got the ball knowledge you to, and I admit that. So I look at it from the stance of Stack hasn't been at it for 3 games now. He's been very poor in the last game. I give him the benefit of doubt. This, lads. I said this last week on Late Night Leeds. I give him the benefit of doubt against Bournemouth and Spurs because you're playing against superior opposition. In there, they've got some great players. I thought Burnley were a great opportunity. He's always played well in the Wolves, the Everton, the games we should play well in. And I thought he was missing. I thought it was his worst game. I felt like he He shied out of a couple of 50-50s. He didn't track his man. I didn't think he would at it at all, Stack. So I think it sends a bad message out when somebody blatantly looks like they need dropping. The fact he's got an injury or two, I ain't even really looking. I'm just thinking from a performance level. I think Tanaka's a fan favourite. You know, they love him at Elland Road. He's got that bit of quality, especially if they haven't got an Okafor. You can say what you want about passing it back and being safe. He has, you know, we have seen what he's done in the Championship, obviously, you know, in and around the box. He's got a shot on him. He ain't afraid to shoot. He can slip someone in behind. He is a good player, technically. I think Stack needs dropping on performance levels, mate. But I know looking at the game, identifying this game and looking at Stack's strengths, I get where you're coming from, Adam. I look at it from a different standpoint. I think Tanaka deserves a chance and Stack doesn't deserve to play in this game, in my opinion, lads.
Yeah, I'll come in on that. I agree that I think Tanaka and Perry will be the only two changes in this game. I still think he starts Aronson and Harrison. I know that's gonna really, you know, discourage people.
That's fitness, so isn't it? He might have to play them. It's the be-all one that shocked me. You're saying that he's going to play Stroud.
I genuinely, the way he's saying, the way he was on about the stats in the Burnley game, and the way he was saying it was, you know, two isolated moments of quality, whatever he said. I hadn't really looked into the presser too much, but I do know that he said something along the lines of you don't need to change too much. And off the back of that, I think he does start Stroud. So I think the back line stays the same. I think Tanaka comes in for Stack. Aronson, Harrison, DCL up top, and then I think the only other change is Perry and net. Genuinely.
Wow.
That would be criminal.
It's a really eagerly awaited lineup. This, I'll be in the Peacock when it comes out. Priest will read it to me as his little tradition, as he does every home game. And I honestly expect wholesale. I really do. I'm expecting Perry, Beal, Tanaka, and I'm expecting both wingers to change. I think James and Okafor play. I think they both start. Just got a feeling.
No chance. No, wholesale and Fark do not go together. This is going Costco for a fucking Sunday.
But James and Okafor, if they're deemed fit enough to play, that's not wholesale. They would play over Harrison.
I think they'll come on. I think they'll feature, Matty. I think they'll feature. I think you'll see James Okafor at some point in the game.
Can I ask you, lads? Do you think with Okafor's injury history, if he, 7 to 10 days is what we got told, if he is sort of fit for this game, do you risk him, lads?
I think with his injury history, if you're told 7 to 10 days, it's taking 10 days. I think that's what his injury history tells us. And he wasn't in the training video today. So that's training from yesterday or today, probably yesterday. He wasn't in it, so I don't think he'll be available.
Yeah, I think he's on the bench. I think James Okafor both on the bench. I think Beal's on the bench, boys. I think Strouk starts.
So... I think Fark doesn't fancy, and there's nothing to go off it. I think he doesn't fancy Beal, personally. There's something about that. I think that he doesn't fancy him. I know he's done this before. He's done it with Tanaka last season. You have to see 5 injuries before Tanaka starts every game. All of a sudden, he's our best player. If Gruev didn't get injured last season, we wouldn't have seen Tanaka till January, whatever. So I know Fark Clark's keep saying, but I think it's something about Bijol we don't fancy. Personally,
genuinely, boys, how surprised would you be if it was just the same lineup as Burnley away, but with Perry in net? Would you be shocked?
No, I wouldn't be shocked.
I would be shocked.
Chat, would you be shocked? Let us know if you'd be shocked. If I saw the only change being Perry in net, genuinely, I would not be shocked.
I'm worried, like Dave says here. I'm worried that if it's the same 11, even let's say same 10, but Perry comes in, I don't have confidence that we'll win. I think we'll win tomorrow, but that's based on the fact that there'll be a couple of changes minimum. I struggle to see us winning if it's the exact same lineup as Burnley.
Matt, are you saying that because that's what you're wanting to see, or are you saying that because that's what you believe is going to happen?
What with the changes?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I firmly believe it, mate. Yeah, I believe. I believe you can be stubborn to a point, BOSSNASS. I just think losing away to Burnley and being sat only a few points above the relegation zone now, when you play another side that's below you, and there isn't many sides below us, I think if that's not going to change your mind to change a few players, what is? And the fact that We've had a little bit of an illness in camp. I mean, let's be fair, there's a chance Ampadu wouldn't even play. Imagine Gruev's slotted in there, you know, a bit wild is that to sort of think. But I mean, if Gruev plays instead of Ampadu, he probably goes with Strauch just because he don't want to change too much in that defensive capacity. I think if Ampadu's fit, I think the all comes in. And you know, I've been advocating for Strauch, you know, game after game, week after week. I've been probably his biggest fan. I think the stick he gets is only because we've got a new shiny toy in the same position. If Biol's not sat on that bench, I don't think anyone's screaming for Strauch to come out. I think it's the obvious change because he's a player in his position. It's like having a £20 million striker we've not seen sat on bench now. We'd all be calling for him over DCL. So I think because of who's playing in behind him, he's been the scapegoat when he hasn't actually done much wrong. But I do think he gets to a point where I think Farke's, I think he's got a few weeks, don't get me wrong, if we lose a couple more, the knives will start sharpening. But I think if he keeps the same team, lads, and we lose the game, he's better off for his own back. It's going to be hard to defend. I think if he makes changes and we lose the game, I think that might help him out a little bit because what more can he do?
Yeah.
Can I?
Yeah, go on, Adam.
Can I just sound Strauch quickly? People talking about the pressing of the Burnley goal. I think he makes several. I don't think that was a massive error. Like the guy hits into the crowd, no one talks about it, but that's not how the way football works. He scored. He gave the ball one way at one stage for that attack. And Carl Walker was running onto the ball. Strauch ran like a fucking moron at the ball straight across the pitch. If all he had to do was run 45 degrees to cover, Carl Walker was always getting that ball first, and he ran at the ball rather than covering it. And that's Strauch for me, and that's Strauch's flaw. He makes quite a few micro decisions wrong. I don't think people are looking at the right flaws in his game. I think people are looking for the obvious things sometimes. And there was an error. I think he makes more errors than that. I think he makes quite a lot of errors. He presses sometimes when he shouldn't do. He's a bit too aggressive. Let's say, I think as a defender, he's not a brilliant Premier League defender. But the problem is whether he fancies Biol or not. Because if Biol's not a very good Premier League defender, if he doesn't fancy Biol, or Strauch's so good on the ball, build-up play, he might see this game, we're going to have 60% possession, so Strauch has to play. That wouldn't surprise me either.
Yeah, on the Strauch thing, I know, Matty, you've said a few times in a few videos recently that you feel like Strauch has been made a scapegoat.
I do.
Scapegoat for what though? For the loss?
Yeah, for the goals we've conceded of late. I've heard people say both goals against Tottenham and the second goal against Burnley. He's been made a scapegoat for some of the goals we've conceded. I think harshly. Right,
because from my point of view, there's a difference between criticising a player and then scapegoating. Because the way I look at the word scapegoating is I'm blaming somebody for other people's mistakes and other people's failings. I am just looking at Strauch in certain aspects and certain moments in the game and saying that wasn't good enough. To me, that's not scapegoating. Just because I'm not picking up on other players or putting a narrative behind that, saying because you did this, we lost this game. Or I'm just looking at certain aspects and moments in the game and saying Strauch needs to do better as a Premier League centre-back in that moment. And I'm isolating that. So to me, that's not scapegoating. There's a difference.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I think because, like I said, because of who's there, I think you can blame him for the goals. But ultimately, we don't concede them goals. If he snuffs them out, then we don't lose a game. So
that's what, like, for me, that's... See, I won't blame him for the goal because the play and the movement and whatever starts a long time before the ball even gets anywhere near Strauch. And there's errors being made before that point. So I would never go as far as to say that's his fault that goal was scored. It's as a collective, as an 11 on the pitch.
I mean, would you say Strauch's Championship level?
No, I think he's better than Championship level. I just don't know if he's Premier League level. I think in Ligue 1, in France, in Switzerland, in the Eredivisie, he would quite happily play for a top 6 team and look absolutely fine doing it.
I think he's a Premier League footballer. He's a Premier League footballer for a struggling side, which is where we are in it currently.
In the right, do you know what you say that, right? You put him into Man City. If Man City play three at the back, and you put him in left centre back, he'd look $1 million. He'd look at absolute $1 million. Of course, he get caught out. Like the problem with Strauch and the problem with any centre back, you put John Terry in that position where Tell's running it, where Tell's got a bit of space, and he's running at centre back, right? John Terry's the centre back, so you either square yourself up to approach the ball, or you try and stay side on and push him one way out. You staying side on, you make yourself smaller automatically. So you're trying to block a shot and make sure someone doesn't go past you. It's really tough. It's a really tough gig. And centre backs aren't built for that. They're not built to play one on one with players. People like Tell. If you push past and run, he's stuffed. If Strout goes and engages Tell and he just pushes it past him, the Strout's trying to buy time and actually is really unlucky. And to buy time, you've got to make yourself smaller because you make yourself side on. So by that time, he's really unlucky once he's done all those things. I think he did everything just about right, that he didn't get enough of a deflection on it, or the right deflection on it, or right block on it, or no deflection on it, as it turned out, to not for that ball not to go in. So blaming Strout for that isn't quite right. I think, Longstaff giving the ball away, trying to chest it down, whatever in that moment, was the cause of the goal. Suddenly Tell pulls wide. If that's Solanke, if that's Richarlison, neither of those pulled wide into that right channel either. They're still down the middle. So I think there's lots of things that are against Strout, and lots of centre backs in that position look bad. Teams like that have slower centre backs usually build a team around trying to help that centre back and support him to make sure he's not caught out or caught any open in those positions. We don't really play like that. Against Burnley as well, we were playing this mental press at times where two men went to the one man and they got past us, and suddenly the guy is like, oh, I've got 10 yards of space here, I can run where I want. We did a lot of the wrong things. Strout's not, Rodon's really quick, so he gets away with it. Strout doesn't, so Strout will look bad. But by the way, so will Bijol. If you get him in those positions, he'll look exactly the same centre back. They're both brilliant at getting balls away from headers, marking guys, being tight against the forward. They're the same centre back in lots of ways. I don't think Bijol necessarily improves massively defensively in open play like that, in those big spaces. If we keep giving the ball away, if we keep working in transition,
I think there is also an argument. There's another argument to say that sometimes we look at things in a bit too much depth when it comes to, is somebody a Premier League player, etc. Because for me, when we went down to the Championship and got relegated, if somebody is clearly and obviously a Premier League player, then then there's bids going in, there's rumours floating, left, right, and centre. When a player who is obviously above the level into which they are going to play next season it gets relegated, one of the promoted teams should be going in for it. Or if it's that obvious, there's teams in the mid-table that should be going for that player. It didn't happen with Stroud. I think he's got Premier League technical abilities. I am with Adam in the sense that I don't know if he's got the mental capacity to make the right decisions at the right time, and I think that might be the thing that lets him down.
And also, you've almost like overarching what level should this player be playing at. Defenders in particular, and particularly centre backs. Actually, look at Max Kilman. Max Kilman at Wolves looks $1 million. Looked class. He played back three a lot. At West Ham, he's looked terrible nearly the whole time, and he's moved for £40 million, and he's looked quite poor. But it's the way the team's set up doesn't work for him as a slightly slower centre back. So you put Stroud in the right team, you put and even more so, as Boston said, you put him in the right league, he would look brilliant. But he looked very, very good. Premier League in open spaces, he's always going to be caught out. Always.
Yeah, and I think he looks 10 times better in a back three, by the way, as well.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah. Absolutely. No doubt about it.
Davo says, has Strauch improved since last time in the Prem? My opinion, no. My opinion, yes, he has. He has improved since last time in the Prem. I would say. My eye test tells me different to you, Davo, but it's opinions. It's all fine. Mr. Whitesnake says, all goals conceded start somewhere. Players get caught out. What needs to be worked on is where it started and what can be done to stopping it, including planning for being caught out. Yeah, you know what it is, lads? Like, look at those goals at Burnley. It's not closing your man down, and it's the Premier League, and you've got a split second to make a decision. And if you don't do it, you're caught out and these things happen. You can dominate a game. You can have 25 million bloody shots. If you don't put it away, you don't. It only takes them to have one chance, two chances, bit of quality, and it's a goal. And that's where we're going to have to learn fast in this league. We've got a harsh lesson at Burnley.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think we were unlucky in that game. I genuinely think we were unlucky.
We play that again tomorrow, we'll win that, don't we, BOSSNASS, potentially? Do you know what I mean? Play that again tomorrow, we'll win that.
I think the wonder strike's a wonder strike. You can do absolutely nothing about it, apart from try to put him off by closing the space down quicker, which we didn't do. Either way, there's an argument to say he still strikes it still goes top bins.
Of course.
But for me, it's not about what is happening that we can't do anything about. It's what are we doing that we can do something about, which currently isn't good enough, or we're not getting the right results from, or what's happening there that we can change to make sure that when we have the ball, we put ourselves in positions to score the goals which are going to keep us in the league. Because at the end of the day, Aronson has to score that. He has. we had this chat in the group chat. I was fuming with it.
Yeah, I know what, mate. I know. Top Banana, only 39 likes. Please hit the likes for the lads. Yeah, 66 currently in the house. 39 likes. Please smash that like. It's free to do. It'll take you a second if you don't mind. It helps us out and lets us know you think we're not absolute plebs. Thank you very much. Fix a problem, not the blame. Yeah, a quick look at West Ham side before we shift over to something else. Who stands out for you here, Adam? I'm looking at Deal from that left, thinking he's a handy player.
Diouf didn't start on Monday, did he? They started Walker Peters left back.
Yeah, he did.
I say I think the defence led to get Wan-Bissaka's very good 1-on-1, but it's there to be got. Diouf's gets forward. I think he's got 3 assists this year. Their forward front four on paper technically is really, 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 really good. Like really strong. Like
Paqueta's not a striker.
So
there's not going to be no one backing into Rodon, Strauch. No big physical presence there. Technical players, but.
No, so they're going to have to play, aren't they? They're going to have to play football, absolutely.
Yeah.
But that front four can play football. There's so much technical ability in that front four. Fernandez is a brilliant player as well, like technically, but none lacks out. But Paqueta, you can probably wind him up. You can get into him, get stuck into him. You can sort of get him out of the game a little bit. I think he's not really that up for the fight. Somerville, we know, is class, been good this year, direct, and Bowen's got 3 goals already and really struggling side. So front four is strong, but they're there to be got. If it's Souček and Irving again, they're there to be run through, as I say. Just run through them. Just charge through them. Say see you later. Like leave them wherever they're going to be in the midfield and just get on the defence. I think that's why I looked at Stack in there. Not saying he's not playing very well at the moment, etc. And he's got 8 broken ribs or whatever he's got. But he actually for that DM pair is there to be got at. I think they might change it, but they've only got a lot of options. They've got a kid they got from Monaco who's not very experienced, but it's a weird, they almost played like a 4-2-4 on Monday, it felt like. It was almost like no one really wanted to go up front out of the 4. And I think they'll be in the same situation here. But they might think that plays into the hands because I think they might go a little bit more defensive. They might pick another centre midfielder potentially and sit back a little bit more, try and hit us on the break with Somerville and Bowen. May play more advanced than anyone else. But I think that's what they probably will do. I think they'll play a low block against us, to be honest, and try and hit us on the break.
They've got the players for it. Wan-Bissaka, if he plays it right back, not a massive fan of his, but one-on-one, he's one of the best fullbacks at, just standing his man up and not being able to beat him and winning that ball back. That's Jack Harrison playing against Wan-Bissaka. That's a worry, isn't it?
Well, no, not really, because Harrison can't go past any fullback, so it doesn't matter. We called their bluff.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, fair enough. But hopefully Okafor's playing. But yeah, it's highly unlikely.
He won't be.
BOSSNASS, Somerville. Do you reckon he comes back to haunt us?
Somerville will pick the ball up in deep midfield like he had to do against Brentford, and he will carry that ball. He'll first thought for Somerville is always to kind of get in the box and kind of shoot, but that's when you'll see Bowen come alive when Somerville picks up the ball, because he knows he carries it well technically. It's like super glue to his foot, so there's always going to. But what I saw, again, when you look at that team, I'll be honest with you, that looks like a mint team. That looks like a team that should be sitting in around 7th to 11th comfortably. When you watch them play football, they look nothing of the sort, or at least they didn't do on Monday night. Honestly, remember playing, and I'm not doing this to like hyperbole. Remember playing football at school, and you'd have like centre backs who would literally just boot it into the air, give it a bit of an have it. Yeah. And it'd bounce, and then your striker would try and get on the end of it. Brentford were doing that all evening, and it were working because they had nobody coming out from the back line and actually getting the red on it before the ball bounced. It genuinely was astounding. Now, all we can hope for is that they are that bad against us. Knowing our luck, they'll have got it all kind of ironed out and come looking like a totally different team. But if they do look like they did at the London Stadium on Monday night, then we should, like Adam said, that you could drive a bus through the middle of that midfield.
Do you think as well, lads, with being at home, being the fact that they played on Monday, we played on Saturday, surely that's got to give us an edge as well. Surely that makes it even bigger. A bigger worry if we want to lose this game and lose it well. That would be even a more damning sort of thing. The fact that these are playing Monday, Friday, that's actually so unfair on West Ham, innit?
Yes,
it's not fair.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%, and they were so bad. They'll be coming up with no confidence whatsoever. Paquetá, I'm not even sure he really care. I'm not sure he'd give a crap if West Ham went down or not. He's that sort of guy. He just plays for himself. Like, I think that it's really unfair. I think it gives a massive advantage. I say it's a perfect storm for us.
This team looked knackered on Monday night. They looked like a team that, like a exhibition football team that goes on tour and plays around stadiums, like ex legends and stuff like that. They look like they've been playing every other day for a week. They look knackered. So
I think
they were absolutely devout of any confidence. Like I say, you've got to just put the nail in, put them to bed early, and it should be a fairly straightforward task.
I think
I think that's it. By the way, I think we could score twice in the first 20 minutes if we just get at them, go out and don't pass it around the back all day and just wonder what's going to happen. That, like against Burnley, I feel like we just pass around the back, keep tight for 20 minutes against Burnley. Just go at them, play vertically, get at them, ferocity, whatever. And I think we could go 2-0 up in the first 20 minutes.
I hope so.
And I hope
so.
Be the end of it.
Control it from there. Yeah, I mean, say we've sort of touched on West Ham there. BOSSNASS and said if they play like they did Monday, we should beat them. But there is some good players in there. I mean, just a quick and do you envisage West Ham going down? There's talks of Ivan Toney potentially coming in. Do you know
that's the only reason why? That's the only reason why. Is they will do business in January. David Sullivan and Karen Brady, for all the bad that there is, when they get backed into a corner, they know what an investment looks like. They're all about business. They know what that investment turns into if you go into the Championship, even for a year or two. And look, in January they are gonna make signings. They're even linked with Ter Stegen from Barcelona in net, like joke stuff. Do you know what I mean? They're a London club with London money. So they will buy players, and that's the only reason. That is the only reason. If they had to stick with the same squad between now and the end of May, then yeah, I would have them going down.
Yeah,
it was a few years ago when they were struggling, and they went and got Tevez and Mascherano in January, which is the most ridiculous signings I've ever seen in my life.
And by the way, did anyone watch a bit of Nottingham Forest this afternoon against Porto this evening?
I didn't.
No,
boys and people listening, they have got like it looks like Daishi has gone to them, right, and gone into the dressing room and gone, what formation do you guys feel comfortable playing? And they've told him a formation. It looked like 4-4-2 attacking, and it looks like he's just said, go out there, enjoy yourselves, and we'll.
What was score?
Pardon?
What was score?
2-0 Forest.
I didn't even see it, mate. Wow.
Against Porto, who's got
as if
against Douglas Costa, when they've got Samu up front and they've got, do you know what I mean? It's just like
Aisha's gone and done that on first game. That's mad.
It was so many good players.
It was two
players.
It was two penalties, but when you've got Nicholas Savona as a defender that's coming, you've got Douglas Luiz, MGW. That Igor Jesus looks like a decent player. So for me, this is why it makes West Ham game on Friday so important, because whether we like it or not, it's my opinion that we will be in a relegation battle all the way to the wire, right to the final days of the season. I feel like that, and I might be wrong, and things can happen. Sometimes you get points from the most elusive of games, and we might go to Brighton and pick up a surprise win. We might beat bloody Chelsea at Elland Road and Man United away. These things can happen. We beat Man City away, Stuart Dallas. We all remember that one. But I do feel like with the team, this isn't a normal season, because the three teams that have come up have all done smart business, and they all look like they can compete at the level. Whereas previous seasons gone, there's always been one or two. By Christmas, you kind of gone there already down, and it's a one-man race. There's going to be 3 open spots for relegation in February.
Let's be fair, though, lads. We're really lucky that Forest, who are well better than where they're placed in terms of personnel, West Ham, that are well better than where they're placed in personnel, are doing so poorly. I expect both of them teams to turn it round. That's my concern. So this is a game where they're struggling, a team like West Ham. Hopefully in a few weeks, Forest haven't quite got the shit together fully under Dyche. Hopefully, before they do, these are maybe 3, maybe 4, maybe 6 points we can pick up, where maybe in 3 or 4 months' time, the sides in and around us won't be picking them up because they'll have got the shit together. So it's a massive 6-pointer.
And
Massive
I
game.
want to say it as well that I do want to get. I genuinely, nothing would make me happier if I got proved wrong on all of that.
I know.
And we are comfortable, and we're comfortable with like 4 or 5 weeks to go. Nothing would make me happier. So, yeah, it's just.
You can only say how you're feeling at the moment, can't you, mate? That's all you
Yeah.
can do.
That's what I mean. That's what you do, isn't it? You just
course
say
it
how
is.
you feel. Like,
Of course,
so.
it is at the moment. Yeah. I'll tell you what. I'll be doing a pre-recorded video with Priestley and Carter tomorrow reaction. If we lose, you know how that's going down. If we lose tomorrow, half an hour after full time, and I walk back to that car, and I'm knackered because I've had to walk a mile and a half uphill. I'm fucking sweating my tits off. I'm fuming. We've got beat. Priestley's going to be laughing and joking, saying we're going to win Champions League next 5 years, and I'm going to rip his fucking head off. You know that's coming. So I might be chilled now, since I'm feeling all right. If we lose tomorrow, I'll lose my head, lads. I'll lose my head, and I probably won't want to post what I put on. But because I don't foresee us losing tomorrow, I can sit here fairly happy in the notion that we'll get 3 points. But if it goes wrong, it goes wrong. And we'll see what happens. Roger, I've starred your comment, mate. There's a couple which I'll pull up later. Sunderland are carrying the other promoted teams. Oh, Sunderland are carrying the other promoted teams.
That is absolute waffle, by the way. Absolute
Ian
waffle.
Brown. Come on, Ian Brown.
It's absolute waffle, by the way. You've got, I think it's Fernando that Burnley signed. He's an absolute baller. You've got, you've got the Leeds signings, which some of them are. I'd still believe Beale's a great centre back, even though we haven't seen him really. Longstaff's a good signing. Like, it's just big. And do you know what it is as well? John McKinney, Ian Brown. It's just one of those where it's like, Sunderland have always been a team which like are very likable. I find Sunderland very likable, but it's comments like that which just kind of make people want you to like kind of fall on your bridges and just start losing because
you know what it is. They'll lose at Stamford Bridge this week, and we win. It's 3 points between us again then, and we've been so shy and they've been so good, and there'll be 3 points between us come Saturday night.
Do you know what it is for Sunderland for me? I respect them as a football club, but I couldn't give a shit. Like, I couldn't care less about them. Get relegated, finish night. I could. Well, I'm getting there, but I like about Sunderland. I could not care less. There's been all this chat about this, that, and the other, and linking the 3 promoted clubs. Who cares? In 3 years' time, Sunderland back in the Championship, and we won't. And we talk about in 3 years, or we can talk about in 2 weeks, or we can talk about in 5 years, talk about 10 years, talk about 5 years, 10 years, 20 years ago, whatever. It doesn't really matter, does it? Everyone talks about here and now. Yeah, you're 5 points, 10 points, what the fuck above us? Who cares? I don't care where Sunderland are. I don't.
Yeah, I've got a show called Bridging the Gap, which I do every Tuesday when I can be asked. And we did it this Tuesday, and it's done 1.2k views, and I'm really happy about it because it's been a shit time on YouTube. So I'm really happy about that show went the other night. So yeah, I don't mind it at all. I quite like the rivalry. Doing that on Tuesday night.
There is no rivalry.
Matty, stop.
No, I'm trying to buff up the show here. Tuesday night, the rivalry's on. Tuesday night, come back.
There's no rivalry.
Unix Borough be talking about the rivalry. Jesus, what a hole.
Yeah, I'm trying to ramp it up, but yeah, I do enjoy my chats with my mate Wayne. But it's obviously my channel's been quite heavily focused on Sunderland for that show.
Do you know the rivalries I grew up with? Right, the rivalries I grew up with were Scum, Chelsea, like proper game, proper clubs, elite stuff. And it's quite sad we're not there anymore. I couldn't care less. Huddersfield, Sunderland.
I don't mind it because you did used to be a bit historically. There was a rivalry with Sunderland. I think it was the '73 FA Cup final, and for a few years after that, those games were like proper MMA battles. Like people were coming off left, right, and centre. So historically, there is a thing for it. But can we stop pretend? I don't. In all respect to Sunderland fans, like our big games of the season are Man United and Chelsea, like rivalry, like wise, and then we like to play our Liverpools and etc. etc. Do you know what I mean? So
this is going to be known as the Leeds Sunderland game of the season. It's going to be known as a Siddiqui Diarra derby. This is how big it is now.
Shouldn't you have named one Leeds player in that? They just names the Niall Quinn.
They were the two that we really wanted. We wanted and we didn't get.
I used to like Sunderland as well. Niall Quinn, Kevin Phillips. That was a good team.
Anyway, let's move on from Sunderland. Right, let's move on from Sunderland.
They got what they wanted.
They did. So, Mr. Whitesnake, it's poem time, right? So, threw a bit of a curveball this week. So, if you're in the chat, you may enjoy this. And if you're in the chat, and you're always in the chat and you're not on this list, then you can go direct to Mr. Whitesnake and have a chat. But yeah, he's gone a bit different on this one, but I really like it. So here's Mr. Whitesnake writes.
Mr. Whitesnake writes, poetry from New Zealand.
Here's to all who keep on watching, Adam, BOSSNASS and our Matt, to every like, subscribe and comment. You're the lifeblood of the chat. There's Richard Hogan and Tezza UK, Roger Slicker, Andy Rowe, Paul Brennan, Jam and Top Banana, White's Forever Steve, we know, Christopher Salford Chapel, William Morrison 898, Russ Veron and Ellie Eyre, and Slim Hood, who's always late, Paul Smith 10,000, Lewin Owens, Lee Naylor 2, Chris Gearing, Sean Healy and Kershaw 44, that's you, Duncan Hamilton and Liam Moore, John McKinley right on time, so many more whose names escape me, and some that just won't rhyme. So if your name's not on this roll, like Michelle Doherty, who's gold, know we are all Leeds United, and the chat is our stronghold. And for all those people that I missed, I'm sorry, but there's only so many seconds in a minute and a half, and I couldn't have fit you all in. But just remember, you're all appreciated. And thank you for all your support. Bye for now.
Mr. Whitesnake writes, poetry from New Zealand.
I rate that.
Just when you think you've seen it all, he pulls that out of the bag. Eh?
I rate that. I rate that so much, like, because that's like the best thing about this channel.
How good is that?
The best thing about this channel is the community. So
I love it. He voiced noted me saying he wanted to pay homage like to the people that watch, and a lot of people. He did say, this channel's a bit different. Where you bring comments up and you engage. Not every channel does, but sort of just paying homage to like people who interact with him in chat as well and say he enjoys his poems. Went through the list. Anybody who isn't in it, he couldn't get it to rhyme, or like you said, there's only so many seconds in a minute and a half. But I love that. I spent a lot of time doing that, going through, getting all names down, and yeah, he's such a top guy. Absolutely love that. And yeah, you all know you're appreciated. But yeah, great one, Steve. Thank you. Well, you're welcome, Steve. Thanks so much, Mr. Whitesnake, as always. Everybody loves it. Another good one, Mr. Whitesnake. Yeah, it's class, man. Absolutely class. Liked it, but was missed. Oh, Richard. What rhymes with Mr. Richard Woodthorpe? Probably tell me a really good one now, but yeah. Far too polite and classy tonight. I'm used to being missed. Oh, you missed off, Robbo. Oh, again, don't rhyme. Anyways, thanks so much for that, Steve. I said this time, I said, "Oh, it's risky, mate, because there'll be someone you've missed." He's like, "Yeah, it's what it is. Yeah, it's only so many seconds in a minute and a half." I love that. Right then, shall we get on to Star Chats, boys? So then, shout out Bill again, who's gifted one Imagine Not Being Leeds membership as always. Bill, the absolute legend from Virginia in the US of A. Thanks so much. Emmett said earlier, we need Okafor back. Unfortunately, he isn't in for tomorrow. We presume probably not. Pressure is really mounting on DF. If we do change manager, I sure hope the 49ers have learned from their absolute shit show Rangers. Yeah, so just saw Rangers in there. I thought I'd pull it up. They haven't handled the Rangers situation well. I've seen a few channels talk about this. I mean, how do you deem this, lads, in terms of, it's a different pot of money and people have been saying, we haven't signed players. I think it's separate, but in terms of the running day to day, making big decisions like managers, is there some crossover? Are you worried if we were to get rid of a manager, or would we potentially not get rid of one, for so long? Because I've dealt with that situation pretty poorly. Do you think that translates over to Leeds, lads?
I love this for us, by the way. I love this in terms of Rangers having to have a managerial search before us, because they shouldn't be so naive to think that we might not end up in a similar situation. So hopefully they explored that alongside the Rangers situation, just to have a bit of contingency. I know that they was looking at Marco Rosa, who will be very familiar to the Red Bull network, as in his job that he did at Leipzig. And I'm not going to go too much into it now because it'd be premature, but hopefully it would benefit us, really.
Adam, any thoughts?
The thing is, the Rangers, I'm not sure how much control the 49ers got. They're only they own 52% of it, 50% of it. Their director of football is still hanging around, so how much say he's got. So I'm not quite sure how much say they have there. I know Greta Steinson's their head of football operations. So their head of football, their football operations are Rangers and Leeds. So that's all he's got to look at. I know he goes to a lot of Leeds games as well. So there's definitely crossovers in the way they think and the way they manage football clubs. Yeah. I'm not quite sure. They might say still like Radrazani, where like they blame Radrazani when they had certain amount of percentage here. They blame Radrazani for anything, even though they were involved. And they might say the same at Rangers. I don't know. So how much involved there? But the decision making, the way they make decisions, will be very similar. It's the same people overseeing it. Raf's involved in both, and Greta Steinson's involved in both. So Robbie Evans just does day to day, and Underwood does transfer. So anyone like the Robbie Evans, people like that, Robbie Evans can replace Kinnear, just does day to day. So the overarching football decisions will come from Raf and Greta Steinson, I believe, because Robbie Evans isn't a football guy either. He's a business guy, so it has to be them. Underwood isn't experienced enough to make those decisions, so it has to be Greta Steinson and Raf, and they are involved in both. So anything you're seeing of issues there, I must say, I don't know how much control I got, but that is the same issue we could see at Leeds. So hopefully everyone at Leeds seems to be learning on the job. Whereas Farke managing against Arsenal, managing against Burnley, everyone, it seems, Underwood's new to role. First transfer window. Why do we have to have everyone learning on the job everywhere? Like, it's quite frustrating.
Yeah, fair point, mate. Fair point, Adam. Yeah, tickle those likes, please. If Steve mentioned you, tickle them if he didn't. 49 likes, 66 in the house, please. A couple more likes get us over 50. Thank you very much. While we're talking about the ownership and stuff like that, how did you find this one? Roger Slicker early. Matty, thoughts on 49ers giving back, going back on their word for Rads and his son invited as guests in the director's box. I think he called it as well earlier. Richard Hogan does it. Was that one? No, it's won that one. Sorry. There we go. Any thoughts on Rads not getting his comeback tomorrow night? Have you heard about the story? He got invited over, I think, and then they've gone back on the word. Is it a big story? What do you think?
I saw Joe talking about earlier, and he was saying about I'm like 49's a bit cloak and dagger. I think they invited him. He made it public, and they said you can't come anymore because we're not interested in you being. We're not interested in this Red Rosanna circus. You could have come, watched, and been our guest to get fed and sat in a nice seat. You made it a circus. We don't want this circus, and that's it.
Do you reckon listen to fan base as well? The general feel of what was said online.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Because
if it's Eddie Gray or whatever, if Eddie Gray's involved every day, if it's Gary McCall, whoever, they wouldn't have minded. But because there could have been a circus, they pulled the plug on it. It's fine.
Yeah, I think there is more. It is more along the lines of the circus thing, because I think that the 49ers will recognise that this game tomorrow is a very important game in terms of the season.
Yeah.
So being able to subtract any distractions is something that you want to do. So yeah, I think it does centre around making this football game about Leeds United now and not Leeds United that was, and winning a game of football tomorrow. So I think it's the right decision. But I also think it does shine a light on how important this game is and how it's being looked at.
How it's being perceived by them at the top. Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. Yeah, I 100% agree with that. I think it's quite humorous as well. I think it's just funny the fact that it'll be thinking, I've got a Leeds and I'm going to be wined and dined just like we were, Adam, by you, and then they've just gone, yeah, fuck off. You're not getting a ticket. I love that. I absolutely love that. Yeah, class. What else is here? We've done that one. Does it make more sense to start James and Okafor and allow them to get you in front and then bring on Aronson, Harrison? I'll start with this one, lads. So I think that's where we look at Aronson, Harrison. They're definitely not good enough to start. We've established that fairly quickly. Whether they're good enough to be a squad player for a newly promoted side, people will say they aren't. I think as a squad option, they're not bad depth. I think if they're going to be on the pitch, I wouldn't want to see them on before the 70th minute. I think if we can go a couple of goals up, you can see how an Aronson or a Harrison or both would make sense coming on to see a game. I think there'd be no, when you look at Okafor, who's struggling to get through 90 minutes, Dan James, Nonto, pick up knocks quite regular. I think they're decent enough to come on if you've got a couple of goal lead and they can sit on it. I think that's a better sort of stance on them too, as opposed to starting, because I don't see them really being in many games where they're going to get us a couple of goals up. Is that how you see their role in an ideal world, lads, if they had to be at Leeds United? It is, though, isn't it? It's got to be on it.
Well, sort of. I know BOSSNAS's ideal role for Harrison, and Harrison is not at Leeds United, is it at all? So it's tough to sort of say. Yeah,
Is
I
that
mean,
not
they should be
everybody's
fine.
ideal?
Well, yeah, absolutely, yeah. But you know, like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think Okafor's going to fit. I don't think Nonto's going to be fit. I think we have to put. I think we have to start with Harrison. Hopefully, James is fit enough to start. And because if we don't start Harrison, we'll be putting James or Aarons on the left, which is even worse. And then of course the problem is, if Okafor and Nonto are available, we know for the last half hour we're seeing Aronson come off for James, and we're getting half hour of Aronson and Harrison at least tomorrow. I mean, that's guaranteed, I think, because Okafor and Nonto won't be fit. So no matter what, we're looking at it as some point in that game, that being your wingers on the pitch.
Yeah.
In terms of this conversation, I just think instead of just look at the evidence, man. The guy clearly he has something in his head, and he will stick to it through sheer stubbornness and ego, and really doesn't care for anybody else's opinion. That's my perception. He wants, and when he's in a press conference, he wants to talk about himself and what he's achieved and what he's done and how great he is. So Farker will do what the great Farker does in his mind.
I'm worried about, lads, with this, right? The logical answer to this is, if I were to say, where's Aronson in, what number down the pecking order is Aronson? You'd say 4 out of the 5. Harrison being the 5th. You would say Okafor 1. Toss up between James and for 2 and 3, right? I actually think when everyone's fit for Farker, I think Aronson's higher up than 4th, boys.
Yes, of course he is, because we saw it at Fulham. Nonto was on the bench whilst Aronson and Harrison come on. I think they both come on ahead of Nonto.
Yeah.
And the problem is, when you make decisions in running a business or decisions in anything, to be fair, what you make a decision based on is the outcome. And you have an idea of the outcome, and the skill of running something and being in charge of something is making the right decisions more often than not. But to make the right decisions, you've got to have an idea of the outcome. I think Fark's learning on the job a little bit. You look at Arsenal, I think he only knows an outcome when he sees it himself. And even when he sees it, he sees something. Sometimes perception is wrong, I think. So Fark avoids those decisions for me, and I think that's the problem, because he does it with substitutes. Because if it's a bit close game, just don't make a sub. And you see people like, oh yeah, that's right, don't make a sub because it's a tight game. No, make a fucking sub that improves your situation. Make a decision, do something that involves you improving the match state by being the manager. Make a managerial decision that makes your team better. If it's a tight game or not a tight game, whatever it may be. And I think that's where Fark lacks. And it comes through in starting and subs. That's the problem.
Daniel Farker is the world's biggest fan of a heat map. I guarantee you that. Yeah. He will absolutely love it. Those little vests that he wears, which tell you how far you've run. That's probably one of the biggest. Yeah. One of the biggest metrics he looks into, I think. I don't know, man. It's just believe what you see with your eyes. I mean, people will tell. I will say this to anybody that watches this and listens to a lot of content. Yeah, take it in, but always revert back to what you're seeing.
Don't be swayed.
Don't be swayed. Like, take on other people's opinions. I respect and value Matty and Adam's opinion alongside everybody else in the group chat, even including Sean Ely in some instances. but always believe in what. Don't let somebody else tell you what you should be seeing. You've watched that wrong. You've seen that wrong. You should have watch football how you watch it. Come to your own thing. And for me, when I watch Aronson and Harrison, I see absolutely zero threat on both sides. On wings, and for me, if you're doing that, you're handicapping yourself from minute 1.
That's fair, mate. And we'll move into Nigel's comment here. 49 are stuck with Farker to take us into the Premier League, rightly so. He was involved in the recruitment and left us short up top. He has to find a way to make this work. Can't do anything until January, and that is it's a good point that gets overlooked quite a bit, that he was involved in the recruitment also.
I think so. The rightly so bit isn't correct. Everyone's happy to change any given player, but the manager deserves a chance because he's a manager, But then oh no, he's here. I don't understand why the manager.
I agree with Nigel on that one though, but I know what you're saying.
I don't think he just deserves a chance. He did right in the championship. If there's better managers available, that's the time to change it. That's the problem. And again, as a board, to make that decision, if I owned Leeds United this summer, I would have changed manager. I would have just done it. I would have gone, because I'm making the right decision for Leeds United. I would have got a better manager in. That's what I would have done. And anyone tells me there isn't a better manager out there, then they're wrong. And if anyone can tell me, they're lying to themselves as well. And what was the other part? Oh, the transfer. He
was involved.
I don't care. Right, we've got what we've got. When you had the squad available last week, if he isn't picking what I see as the best team, and it's not that I always know best, I'm just giving my opinion. But if he's picking what I see as the best team, I'm going to have to hump. And I had to hump, and that's fine, and I say what I think's better, so that's fine. I don't care if we got Wilson. If we got Wilson somewhere, he's also injured. We'd still have had the same players available. If Wilson was available, he was available. Like we have what we have. Let's not make an excuse of what we haven't got. Let's look at what we have got.
Yeah, no, that's
yeah.
I love that.
So basically, I think Adam's basically covered everything that I probably would have said there. The only thing that I will say is, and I don't think this is on the manager, is so this is going to be a rare one for this evening. I don't think we was busy enough in the summer, in the sense that, but the only time that I mentioned Sunderland, their rate of activity, ins and outs, and the way they kind of strategically used their money and brought in players at a rate of knots, also gave them kind of a lot of momentum in the window. And I don't think that is down to fact. There should have been a lot more income and more so outgoings, which would have facilitated a few more incomings. You can't replace player for player because you need to improve the quality of the player, which means paying more money. But I just don't think the summer business was good enough, and I don't think that can be put on the manager.
Yeah, that's fair, mate. Good way of looking at it. Right. That top you're wearing, BOSSNASS. That's Juve's top, that, isn't it?
Yeah, put it on.
That I know, mate. Right, when our Theo's thoughts were on, he started getting changed, and I literally saw like his torso with no top on. I almost just flicked off our Theo's thoughts to bring us all back on screen. Almost, my finger was hovering. Anyway, it's a fucking beauty top, that, by the way. That is a stunning top. I like that. Just wanted to sort of say that. Roger Slicker, last one I starred earlier. This is on me. This. So what I'll say is, I'll very rarely slander a player for being shit, like some people do, before watching them. I've said a little bit about Biol that I aren't too sure he's going to be any better than Strauch, but I rate Strauch, so that's not really a damning thing. But sometimes I'll overhype a player before I see him, or I've seen a little bit. So I definitely overhype Metcher. I still think to say he's shit, which I've seen some content creators actually say he's shit. I don't think I've seen anything that deems him shit. He hasn't played many minutes. He comes on late in games and pulls himself about. It's not like he hasn't missed as many chances as Calvert-Lewin if people deem him shit too. So I'm not too sure sort of where he fits at Leeds other than just cameo minutes. I think he's potentially got a role to play, and that will be his role. He's going to get more minutes than Pido at this rate as well. So I don't know. I've overhyped him potentially, but I do like him. We're all at fault for that. Sometimes you like a player. I mean, look at me with Ramazani thing. But what I will say is, I'll never deem someone shit before I've seen them play shit. Give everyone a fair crack. Sometimes I'll overhype someone who maybe a bit too early. But I like Metcher. I think he's got a bit to offer. But whether we'll see enough of him, probably not. But with a free transfer, lads, you got to remember, with a free transfer, and he's played for Germany. Connect the dots. He ain't a bad player. Will he show his best football at Leeds? Probably not. That's all to add.
I'm going to go back to that thing that you're always taught as a kid. If you've got nothing nice to say nothing at all. And that is my stance on Lucas Metcher.
Fair enough. He's got no. Fair enough. Adam, all to add.
Nothing nice to say.
I think Metcher is a serviceable option of what he offers, but it doesn't offer a great deal. If he's starting for 15 games, even in the Premier League, you're in a little bit of trouble.
I would love to see him. I'd love to see him start a game at home, right, and play 60 minutes, 70 minutes, just to see against the West Ham. But if that happens, it probably means DCL's on the table, which I don't want. So, but I would love to see him have the opportunity to prove these people wrong. But he ain't gonna get it. Not unless there's an injury at DCL. So he might. Not
under this manager with this formation. No, absolutely.
No. Unless there's an injury, he ain't gonna.
DCL's keeping you out, missing chances like he's been missing 7.82 XG and scored one goal. Right, thank you. Who gave me that? It was on the stream the other night.
He has not got 7.82 XG. There's
Yes, he
no
has.
way he's got that. No,
Yes,
he
he has.
hasn't. That's
Yes, he has.
bollocks.
Yes, he
There's
has.
no
Yes, he
way.
has.
That's
Yes, he has.
high, is that though? Wow.
There's
What-
no chance. That's nonsense. You're doing it
Anyway,
again. You've asked AI.
if DCL's keeping him out, you know, then his hold-up play can't be better than DCL. Link-up play probably ain't better than DCL. And whatever he's showing in training, finishing-wise, probably ain't better than DCL. So just keep playing DCL. We don't want to make what we've got even worse.
Fair enough. That's the Smith
D-
number 10 thing again. Yeah, DCL
DCL's
one number
X-
10 for Leeds.
I think DCL's XG for the season is 1.67.
Matty, you remember that comment the other night, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
It was on your what's it show, wasn't it? Your Sunderland show.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
He-
Whether it's right or
Lee-
not,
Lee-
I didn't check it, but yeah, I did.
Leeds XG won't be much higher than that.
I think it'll be more than one though. But you
We
said
had
1
4
point.
XG, didn't we?
Oh, I don't mean that. I mean more than these 8 or
All
whatever.
right, yeah. Anyways, we'll call it a draw there, boys. I'm hoping that wasn't too negative. Anyway,
sorry,
before we go, I actually do something right quick, right? Before we play, we don't know what results going to be. We'll do his predictions, right? But Adam, right now, and I don't want to. I know Mr. Whitesnake's big on this. Yeah, but if you sat Farker, who would you bring in and stuff? That's not our job. We can say, for me, if we don't rate Farker, get him out and that someone else will bring someone in better, right?
Can I just say quickly? Go on. No, you. Oh, can I go? You
left me hanging like I want Farker out. Anyway, I just want to know right now, Adam, Fark in, Fark out before West Ham. How are you feeling? What side of the fence? Fark in, Fark out.
Well, Fark can
Just
stay.
Fark in, Fark out.
I wouldn't go as far as Fark in, but you can stay.
Right now,
I'm not Fark out.
Right, it's Fark in. I'm Fark in. Dan.
If he beats West Ham, he gets a few more
Right
wins.
Right now.
If I had to pick right now,
Fark in.
If I had to
Right
pick
now. Yeah, right now.
Fark out. Get him out.
Right, Adam, we lose tomorrow. Fark in, Fark out. If we lose tomorrow. Still in. I'm still in if we lose tomorrow, but I'm fuming. You're obviously Fark out if we lose tomorrow, obviously.
I'll tell you what though.
Sorry, you can't. Sorry, what are we doing, boys?
Let me know in chat.
No, sorry. If you lose into Burnley and then you're following that up with a loss to West Ham, what are we do? Are we just going? Oh, we'll keep Fark just because he's a nice guy and would feel bad to sack him. If you're not doing your job to the level, you deserve to get your P45. I don't know what we're doing.
I'm giving. So I think if you're getting a new manager in, I think you do it over the next international break, which is 3 games away. That's
full
what I'm
pre-season, boys. Full pre-season. He's
that's all fine.
Been in the boardroom, overseeing all these transfers. Yeah, he might not have signed off on all of them. He probably signed off on most of them. Full pre-season. This will be going into our 9th game tomorrow.
I think 9th tomorrow. Yeah, 9th tomorrow.
Right, 9th game tomorrow, included. And yeah, sorry if it's a loss tomorrow after what they've looked like on Monday night. I'm sorry, Leeds deserve better than that.
Even if BOSSNASS, and I'm going to say it, all the other metrics are in Leeds' favour.
I don't care. The only metric I care about is goals. Points on the table. Like,
Stats.
If we have 75% possession tomorrow, yeah, 400 crosses, 300 free kicks, yeah, and West Ham have 2 shots on target and score both of them. Is that a good performance then?
No. I'm with you,
Can I end on a lecture? Can I end on the my thoughts on someone saying you can't get rid of Fark unless you as a fan have got someone lined up as a replacement? You know, that is one of the most ridiculous things. I've seen it so many times now. No offense, Mr. Whitesnake. I've seen it so many times now. What you do is you judge your manager and you say, is that manager we have the best manager for Leeds United? Is there better out there? But obviously there's a bigger picture of the right time change, everything else like that. You don't have to know every other manager in the world. You don't have to judge every other manager in the world to want to get rid of your manager. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one.
Also, can I just say, boys, before anything gets ended, I genuinely don't want to come on here and say things like I've said tonight about the manager and stuff like this, but I also can't look myself in a mirror if I come on here and tell you, oh, I'm all fucking this, that, and the other, and then
exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Honestly, BOSSNASS, I wouldn't want somebody on here that doesn't speak the mind. You know, I hope for conversation sense that we actually disagree from time to time, and I actually quite like the sort of balance we brought today. I really do. Yeah, Roger, I'm not surprised at all. I'm a big fan of Cages. To be fair, I think he says it as he sees it. He don't, pull no punches, and yeah, it doesn't surprise me over there. That's the answer. I think if I did a poll, it'd probably be 50-50 myself. But
Can we do
I'm
one
very
for a minute?
Nah, nah, can't bother. I just can't be asked to bring another screen up because I'll probably fuck it up. You know, I'm like, where's that comment now? Richard Hogan. I honestly, if I'm honest, I'm probably the same mindset of Richard there. Like I'm farking. I have my problems with him, but right now I can see both sides. If we were to lose tomorrow, it's going to be difficult. Bearing in mind, I'm going to Brighton away next week. What a tool I am because I don't see us getting out there. So if I got a game tomorrow and we lose, I travel all the way to Brighton. It's a poor performance. I'm not going to be singing from the same hymn sheet as those Farkins, am I? So hopefully we can turn it round. I'm with Adam. You've got to international break for me. Anybody I think, and I've got a few. Philip Anderson, who's not in tonight, who will watch his back, and he'll let me know if that it's been a bit negative. There's some fans out there who think we could lose 10 in a row and Farker won't get sacked, which I think is mental. I think there is scope for him to get sacked if it goes wrong. If we lose another 3 or 4 in a row, I think he does get sacked. But do I think we'll lose 3 or 4 in a row? I don't. So I think he'll keep his job beyond the international break, lads, in my opinion. But whether he should or not, it's opinions.
Football is an emotional thing, whether you like it or not. So if Leeds beat West Ham tomorrow 4-0 at Elland Road on Friday night under the lights, I'm going to be like, oh, maybe he does deserve a chance. This, that, and the other. This, that. I'm telling you how I feel in the moment right now after this up to 8 games in the season, and that's basically all I can do, really.
It is, mate. It is. Be true to yourself. Say it as it is, and hope to God you're wrong tomorrow. Wrong beyond tomorrow, BOSSNASS, and it all goes swimmingly. Like Top Man says here, we can still make Europe. You are positive, but that is a little bit too much, my friend. But yeah, technically we could. Couldn't we, Adam?
Yeah, technically, yes. Yeah.
Anyways, we've waffled on for over 2 hours. Honestly, mental. Sorry, boys. Sorry, alt chat. I know you've got work in a few hours. I do like to drag it out. I enjoy it, though. I enjoyed the chinwag today with the boys. And I'm buzzing for tomorrow. I'm going to now change my tune from 2-1, boys. I think we're winning 3-1, based on BOSSNASS telling me West Ham are absolutely shit.
We haven't done predictions, have we?
No, we're not. 3-1. I want yours now. BOSSNASS, 3-1 Leeds.
3-0 Leeds.
Wow.
West Ham are that bad.
If anyone says he's been negative, look at that. He's tipped Leeds to win 3-0.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Adam?
2-0 to West Ham.
Fuck off. You can't say that. If you're going to say, you can't say that in a Southern accent, mate, and wear a Leeds shirt. Come on.
2-0 West Ham.
That was almost as good as Theo's Scottish accent last week.
2-0 Leeds.
2-0 Leeds. So yeah, Leeds wins. 4 or 5-0 win to Leeds, said Mr. Echoes. 3-1 Leeds, says Ina. Hey up, buddy, hope you well. 2-1 West Ham, Fark out, says Depo. Whoa. Oh, wow. 4-1 Leeds. 2-1 Leeds. 1-1 conceded a last minute as you. Yeah, to be fair, a lot of people think Leeds 1-0 those. Hey up, Colin, hope you well. But yeah, I think we win. I think we win well. And then the narrative, the whole sort of feeling around the club will change if we beat West Ham. We'll look a bit more positive. Yeah, I know you do. Yeah, sod mark it out, Adam out. Draw says Roger Slicker. Yeah,
I will say this. If we stay up, by the tiniest margin at the end of the season, still change the manager. I've
got 100%.
Yeah, potentially.
Absolutely.
Yeah, potentially.
See, Matt, see, look, Matt is like, oh, I don't know. But you're on the same wavelength as me, Adam, right?
Well, yeah, of course. I just want better.
I'm just looking at it. We stay up by skin of his teeth. I'm just looking at the 3 teams coming up. They will be shite next season. So that's
not. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Fuck off. Right. Anyway, everyone, thank you for watching. Please smash a like. Please subscribe, and make sure you go check out BOSSNASS's channel, BOSSNASS on Leeds. A link is in the description. BOSSNASS, have you got a flower or shower coming out?
Yeah, mate, do you know what? I don't mean to carry this stream on any longer. I'm knocking it on the head, boys. Flowers and showers.
Oh, that's a shower. That's a shower.
Yeah, genuinely, 36 views. Right. They take me 4 hours to make.
Oh no, we'll set them off again.
36. So blame yourself, people. If 36 views, yeah. 6 minutes average watch time, 50% of them don't get past 30 seconds. So nobody likes it apart from
Us.
a couple of people. So what's the point?
Boo! It's 49 people here. Go watch
What a
last week's Flower and
baby.
Shower and make him do
What-
another one.
what a
'cause that's
big
pissed me
baby.
off. Look at Adam. What a big baby. Cheers, lads. Oh, we love you, BOSSNASS, anyway. We love
Yeah.
you.
Collect your toys
show,
back up
guys.
and make a fucking video.
Just
I mean,
for us.
Priestley's still going to do stuff. It's just not going to be that.
Nah, that's fine, mate. Hopefully it takes a better. Look at Adam just giggling away to himself. You know, you fucker. Right.
So angry.
Right then, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. Please like,
No,
please subscribe. What?
And what else should people watch?
Oh,
yeah.
The Outside Elland Road show on the Inside Elland Road podcast. Anyone who knows that channel, fair enough. If you don't, go subscribe over there. We've got a new weekly show. Me, Adam, I'm the co-host. Adam's the host. Did a really good job of it. We're going to get a couple of different fans on each week, potentially, and doing that every Monday or Tuesday, aren't we? And
if I can strong arm him, Graham might come on once a month as well. And me and Matty can, stew with Graham.
Imagine middle of January. Imagine Not Being Leeds. We get Graham Smith on here for the chinwag on Late Night Leeds.
Yeah.
It's in the pipeline. It's going.
Cheers.
I'm farking at a minute. BOSSNASS is dead. Oh, it's so funny. So funny. Right then. Thanks so much for watching. It's now Friday morning. Leeds are going to win tonight. Get up. Right, everyone. Take care. Good night. Love you all the bits. Bye-bye.